Listener discretion is advised.
Right now, we're about to celebrate the penultimate... Pent up? What's it? Pent up? Pentuptilit? It's a...
The pentuptilit?
Ah, fuck it. The amuse bouche. It's a fucking episode before the 7-year anniversary episode. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome all you little zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 364 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast that is recorded in front of an undead studio audience at Castle Wolfenstein. We discuss at least one film a week, we argue, we make fun of each other, and we even have special guests in studio. It's the first time in a while. We've waited for him to come in, but we have our boy, Arkham Josh, hanging out with us.
Hey everyone, how you doing?
Hey Josh, good to have you, man. It's I don't remember the last time. It's been a while, right?
It's been a while, but I think it was at the beginning of towards the beginning of the year.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Yeah. So it's been a few months, but
Yeah.
awesome to have Josh here joining us in studio. And I guess I'll fucking introduce everyone. Oh wait, there's someone on his chair. I guess he'll miss his intro.
Well, you know what? He fucked up. He fucked up.
He fucked up.
He fucked up the intro because he
He
didn't
did,
get the
yeah.
he didn't get to brush his follicles
And his teethus.
before the show began. So I think the magic was
Just want
kind
you
of gone
guys
by then.
knowing that he just shoved a bunch of pizza in his face before doing that. And that's why.
Hurry, I'm going to try and do the intros before I get to it. I'm Johnny Wolfenstein, the pencil pusher and producer of media for Trick or Treat Radio. We also have the vulgar guru of horror, star of Blood Pigs, Fetus, and the upcoming Morbid Tales and Septic, one-time contributor for Horror Hound magazine, Monster Zero.
Hi.
We have the Triumph Riding, stage directing, whiskey drinker, chief of security, the warrior of nor'easters, America's sweetheart, Rick Rubin's stunt double. He drinks and breaks things, Ares, god of war.
Hello.
And that's it. No, that's everyone in the room. So, what?
What?
You weren't at your fucking desk. You weren't at your seat.
Yeah, I got permission.
From who?
My mom.
Do you have a letter?
Yeah.
You show it to me?
Yeah, signed
Let me
Raven
see.
Shadow's mom.
Let me see.
I get it right here.
Yeah, look at him whipping out
pull
those $1
whip it out.
bills.
Whip it out.
Yeah, hang on one sec. Oh, slow it down, Johnny. Don't get excited.
Is it on a Post-it note?
It is.
It is.
Wait, you writing it right now?
No.
Okay.
It's produced.
Make sure he doesn't write it.
No one's looking.
Sure, it's
Is
taking
it
an
signed
awful
Raven
long
Shadow's
time.
mom?
No, this is a
Yeah,
weird,
what is
this a
taking
weird
so
movie. I
long?
don't know, man. It's with the internet's slow today.
Internet? That's a fucking Post-it note.
Yeah.
No. For Raven Shadow.
This is
To-
ridiculous.
Wow, this is
Go
compelling.
Signed Mrs. Shadow.
Can we just note that I think he spelled his own name wrong?
It's a hard name,
You know,
Josh.
it-
Oh,
Don't-
wait, he's writing it right now. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
What?
You can't do that.
I didn't do that.
You're doing it.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you're doing it. Oh, let me see the note. All right, let me see. It's okay for Rorschach to go to bathroom, Mom. Rorschach?
Yeah. I'm like a Rorschach shadow.
Oh, no, it says it's okay for Rorschach Addo to sow his royal oats. Is that what it said?
Thank you, Mom. Yeah, Mom's she's very supportive, especially on the my recent 3rd year anniversary. So,
Just don't
Knock
do
it off.
Yeah, just don't do it above her bedroom.
A, it was a living room.
Living room,
And
yeah.
I think they were watching maybe like Friends or something.
And there's no hanky-panky in Friends. They knew something was off.
See? Well, my house.
So
Hanky panky.
does that mean he should get an intro? This?
Well, I mean.
Whoa! This is from
In my case, it would be a hanky spanky.
this is from somewhere else.
Well, yeah, there might be a password on that, Johnny. You can put that in the PHI. Bit.
There is a password. I don't want to read
Yeah,
that.
you can't do that. Yeah. you can't.
Jesus Christ! You just
Pull
wrote
that- what is
a
it?
note.
Password 1 2 3 4.
It almost was.
It's pretty close.
It was probably the year he was born.
Does he even remember that?
Yeah. Well,
Did you pull that out of your monster wallet?
Are you new to the show? We got rid of the monster.
downsized.
No, I
wallet.
know you got the
Yeah.
new wallet. I know you got a new wallet, but is it like
Still in there?
stretched out?
Stretched
Is
out?
it like stretched out and shit, like your old wallet?
Well, not yet. No, I'm streamlined now. I'm streamlined. I
I
travel
bet
light.
that one's gonna grow
Ooh.
because you
it's
got
fun,
the
right,
post-it
Gary?
note you're cramming back in there.
That's my back pocket. No, I don't sit in my wallet. It's in my bag, my battle pack. It's
So
fucking
you have
riveting.
a wallet and a bag, so it's a purse.
No, I have a.
No, wait, not a purse.
No, it's a battle pack.
You have a wallet, a comb,
Yeah, floss,
floss,
chapstick.
chapstick.
Stimident.
I'm still waiting
Yeah.
for the argument that it's not a purse.
Josh, you're from Rhode Island, right?
Yes.
Thank
I'm
you.
from
All right.
Rhode Island.
So we know he sells the truth, right?
He sells the truth?
I don't tell the truth, but I will sell.
But who's buying? That's the real trick, Johnny. This is like a wicked battle pack, right? 'Cause it's like you could be. It's like Roman Reigns. You could wear.
Okay, now, where I will say it is not a purse per
Thank you.
se, but it is like the most babyest backpack I've ever seen.
Not a baby, maybe. Like,
Second graders carry
To
bigger
put it-
backpacks than
to
that.
Put it in the parlance of Raven Shadow. That's Fisher Price, my first backpack.
Well, that is one of your sayings.
oh, it's fair. Yeah.
This is okay.
See, yes. So Monster Zero has a normal backpack.
True. Yep, man can pay his trapper keeper when he
Yeah.
goes over to grandma's house. He can do that.
Yeah.
MZ's ready for second grade. Okay.
Take a picture of his new Vestron shirt. That's exciting. Pent Ultimate is a weird word, huh?
It's not
There's-
pent.
You're putting an extra T in
Yeah,
there.
it's penultimate. And it's the
Oh.
one before the last
Yes. So this is the penultimate episode
in our.
in this studio.
Yeah. Otherwise, this will
Right.
become your penultimate show.
I hope so. No, but I used it correctly though, right?
Not really.
Fuck,
Almost.
Josh.
You intended to use it correctly, so you get
Okay.
half a point.
Thank
half,
you.
Half
Yeah, but
credit.
you lost that half a point when you couldn't even pronounce it.
Well, you knew what I meant.
Penultimate. Are
Penultimate.
you pent up?
Well, it's been a couple. Been a couple days, Johnny.
Oh Jesus! I don't want to know about that.
All right.
You asked the fucking question.
Hey, move that goddamn AC over this way. It's
It
blowing
is-
into the
no,
goddamn.
It's nice. It's nice right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I bet it is.
It's nice. We can see your nipples. Okay. It's
Woo!
No, this is exciting.
What is exciting?
Oh, that feels good.
The air. Josh is here.
Yeah.
We also have the chain smoking, hand kissing, baby shaking, lorazepam loving, four comic work, official smoke chamber, gas Wolfenstein. I can't do it fast. Pimper Promotions, the Italian rapscallion, the professional bullshitter, the cool principal, proprietor, and secretary of the Sexy Speakeasy. Soon to have another title, maybe. Mr. Runtime, the Duke of Degeneracy, and the Parisian Bruja himself, Michael Ravenshadow, and habitually late. To the,
What's going to be the new one? Unexpected Father?
Whoa.
take it easy. I don't
That's not how that works.
jump in the
he's got to
gun.
have sex to do that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of things that you can bust my balls on. But,
There's a lot of things Monster Zero doesn't understand.
Yes. Josh is right.
I think you're so smart.
He is smart. He's very smart.
That's why I can sell the truth.
You have to be smart to sell the truth. All right, so tonight we're actually doing two flicks. We got a bonus. So first up, we're going to be talking about IFC Midnight's newest film from director Orson Oblowitz, and that is Trespassers. And as a bonus review, do we have the thing that I can show? I know it's a present, so maybe it's a little surprise here, but maybe I'm blowing the load a little bit early. But as a bonus review, Josh has been talking about it for a while. We've talked about this film a few times, just not like a discussion, but mentioned it. And we're going to do from 1987, from director Penelope Spheris, Dudes, starring John Cryer and what was his name? The other guy,
Daniel
Roebuck. Yeah, and Daniel Roebuck. Dudes, from 1987.
I'm so excited, and the fact that it wasn't until I rewatched that I thought that was Chris Penn.
I know.
Was
No,
his buddy.
you said that. We
Yeah.
actually we
We had to debate it before.
yeah, we
Really?
corrected you
Correcting,
before.
yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did. We
Oh.
corrected you.
Well, you guys are right.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you.
at least you could admit it.
I just did.
I know. It's nice.
I
of
love
you.
how you didn't say you were wrong. You just said we were right.
Yeah.
What, Josh, you think it's fucking easy? I got this
Say
one
I
asking me
was
questions
wrong.
and yelling at me.
Yeah, I like how you do that.
Aries is calling me a motherfucker. It's just terrible.
He didn't call you a motherfucker.
I
And
kinda
that's
did.
Monster
Not
Zero
yet.
exists.
I'll
Yeah.
call you a motherfucker.
Fuck yourself.
Motherfucker. Now say you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Say no. Say
Well, why don't you say I wasn't right? How about that, Raven Chow? Is that easier?
no. That's not the same.
No, I know, but it's a start.
What? I
Baby steps.
was incorrect.
There you go. So you're wrong. Is what you're
Yeah, I
saying.
mean, it's all by a certain point of view. I'm pretty sure Chris Penn ate dog biscuits at some point in his career. You know what I mean?
I
He
do
looks
love,
like the kind of guy who would
To be
have.
fair,
I do love Biscuit.
I mean, yeah, biscuits awesome.
All right. Well, you know what? We'll
All
leave.
right, all right,
we'll
all
leave
right.
some time
Let's
because
be honest.
yeah, because I am excited to talk about that film. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, and then we'll talk about Trespassers as well. But now I don't know. We're just gonna shoot the shit for a little bit. We have some announcements, but first of all, I want to check in with Josh. Josh, it's been a while. How are things in your end of your neck of the woods?
There's nothing especially interesting to talk about. Unfortunately,
You shown any good films lately?
well, it's the summer, so nothing's really
Ah,
going on. I will say, towards the end of the school year, there's a lot of film festivals that I worked on, and one of them was the Providence French Film Festival.
Oh, nice.
And we did
It's very niche.
We did 2 screenings of a film that is now on Shudder that I highly recommend people watch, which is Knife and Heart.
Oh yeah, I've heard good things about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Knife and heart.
yeah. It is a French giallo throwback
Yeah.
that takes place in the world of gay porn production. Now, there's one odd thing in there that me and numerous other people at the screenings were trying to figure out and could not pin down an answer for. But there is a character in the movie that, in a very prominent scene, is wearing a Charlestown, Rhode Island shirt.
Wow,
That's
really?
interesting.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. No, I've heard some pretty decent things. So-
Yeah, definitely check it out. It's I know it's a little bit of a niche kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth watching, especially if you're a Euro horror fan. So
There you go.
Yeah.
There's a recommendation from Josh. So check it out if you want. We have hanging out, a few people hanging out. We got Matchwell of Omaha says, I can't believe it's already Wednesday.
Nice.
Yeah, it went by quick. And Marion's hanging out, says hello. I see Creepy Girl. I see X. We got some people hanging out. We're doing the Facebook watch party again. And Matchwell says the Facebook Live alert is killer. Keeps me from forgetting. So, all right, well, maybe we'll keep it going.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of other people joining in, so we appreciate you guys hanging out. Some folks on Facebook. I never know though, because it tells when people join, but it doesn't say when they leave. So I don't know who's still hanging out or not. So, but we got some people hanging out watching, and let's see. Oh, MZ, did you? Oh no, you did. Raven Chow, you're the one who you just started Stranger Things, right?
Yes. So I'm on the start of the 5th episode
Of the first season.
of the first season. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
the first.
First
Oh,
season,
that's
yeah,
right. You
yeah.
just started. That's
Yeah.
right.
So apparently I'm the one guy on the planet that hasn't watched
are, yeah.
Stranger Things yet.
Pretty
it
much.
somehow just missed. You just missed it.
Well, no, I knew where it was. It wasn't.
where it
It
was.
wasn't
I
trying.
didn't say you lost it.
Yeah.
Where the fuck
Did
is
it
Stranger
avoid?
Things?
Did it avoid you like dudes avoided MZ?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Scoot.
And what do you think of it so far?
It's good. I mean, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like Hopper as my boy.
Yeah.
Hopper, yeah.
He's my dude.
He's much better in that than he was in Hellboy.
Oh, we got a call out for Josh. It's Mike Gallagher. So what up, Josh Money?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. What's up, Mike? Thanks for hanging out, man. So Raven Shadow's finally catching up to about what 6 years ago? Is that when it came out?
I think it was
5
6
years?
No. It was
Maybe,
probably-
maybe 4.
Maybe
3
4.
years ago it came out, 2016.
Was it
Thank
really?
you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hard to believe, really, when you think about it.
Well, there was 2 years between the second and third season.
yeah,
That's why.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's right. I guess it wouldn't be that much.
And how about Dustin? He's so salty in that first season.
Yeah, it's the kid with the teeth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kid with the teeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought the other guy was a little more saltier too.
You're salty.
A little bit, yeah. A salty dog. His other friend,
You need to give more information.
Yeah, there's a lot of friends in it.
the black kid.
Oh, okay.
Was that so difficult?
Yeah, was that hard?
Why? Well, I don't know. I don't know the
Yeah, he
names.
has teeth too.
Well, yeah, too. I like him. He's my boy. And actually, I thought the kid who befriends Elle, I thought that was a girl. So I was very surprised that was
Mike?
a boy. Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, Mike. Yeah, he's got like that Prince Valiant.
Yeah, and that's
Haircut.
not trying to be a dig. It just was he looked kind of like
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
Like a young boy.
Uh,
I mean, that's
that's
kind of
what-
what
yeah.
happens,
That's what he looks like, a
I
young
guess,
boy.
Yeah. Well, Aries had fucking facial hair when he was fucking.
He
90
did,
years
actually,
old.
yeah.
Yeah. You think it's long now? You should have saw it then.
He was like ZZ Top.
It's true. But no, I do enjoy it. And
All
yeah.
the '80s references are sweet, man.
Yeah, and I
they
think-
nail it. They nail it just right.
And I gotta say, I think a bigger draw for me is the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's definitely.
Well, see,
I like-
it's especially with me because I was the same age at that time as they were.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
You know,
that's a good
I was-
point. Yeah.
I was exactly their age, so I know exactly what
when
it
does
was like.
when does it start? Is it 82 and then 83, 84?
No, it
because I know the
83 starts at 83.
Okay, because I know the second season was Halloween.
Because this past season was 85.
and it was 84. It was
No,
fourth.
85. 85.
Was it 85? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Had to have been 85, given by in the
Fourth
first episode they go see Day of the Dead,
Yeah.
which came
Oh,
out.
right.
Yeah.
In,
Plus all the other
early summer
movie
of
and the
85.
marquee and everything. I
Oh,
mean, there was lots.
I saw
of it,
someone talking
85.
shit on social media about that. They're like, this series is totally unrealistic because when Day of the Dead came out, it didn't sell out. I can't watch this. That's literally like what someone was
What?
saying. Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know.
I want to talk to that
Are you
guy.
going to go to his house?
Yeah, I'm going to go to his house.
Yeah, pull a
I
Jane
also-
Silent Bob.
I also find it funny that there are people online complaining that in the third season they're like, oh, this is just a ripoff of Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
But yet those same people loved the first season, and the first season is just E.T. meets Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah,
Yeah.
totally, yeah. And each season really is just like, it's, I wouldn't say it. It's derivative. I'll say that.
Right.
Derivative, and there's a lot of homages, and that's why it works so well. So if you liked it for one reason, don't like it
Right.
for another, then it's just silly.
Yeah. It's people are picky.
But anyway,
Dicks.
I am enjoying it. I didn't watch it all in one day like MZ does, but over the course of 2 days.
I'm not
I
the only one
watched
who
2
did it,
Well,
dude.
fair.
Yeah,
fair.
no, because I watched the whole third season in about a day and a half. Like, I broke it up a little bit, but, I sat down and I watched, the first,
Alright.
3 episodes all at once. And then, same thing, when that first season dropped,
Yeah.
a friend of mine started it in the morning and watched the entire thing during the day. And then, we'd gone out to eat with him, and he's like, you have to see this series. And I was like, all right, I'll check it out. So it was, 10 o'clock at night, and we're laying there, and I put it on. And next thing I know, it's 2:30, and my wife is like, you have to turn this off and go to sleep.
Fair.
It's such a great season. I can't wait to see what the last season is going to bring. Not only in terms of story and character development, but also in terms of nostalgia. What will they bring out this time? Because it's always just so much fun to watch. Season 3, you see Dustin with his toys, and there's R2D2 and I think I saw one of the Mask cars.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the
I think it was Mask.
Ultra Magnus.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's great. I just love it.
So Mike Gallagher says Day of the Dead was pretty full. I worked to showcase Warwick when it came out. So there you go.
Yeah, how can you say it never sold
Right.
out? I mean, you'd have to visit every theater in the country to see if that was
Right.
actually
Yeah,
that was factual.
Right.
And-
that's why it's such
that's-
bullshit.
it's
yeah.
such a bullshit
I know that in its time it was a kind of a flop. It was not
Right,
a financial
right.
success. But that doesn't mean that opening weekend it didn't draw crowds in certain areas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And then also our boy Joshua Libre says, "What's up, my mass homies? Whoa, the original Josh,
Nice.
The OJ.
the OJ, Orenthal Josh."
Or Josh Arkham. Arkham J. Simpson.
Yeah.
The original OJ. I like that. Oh man. So what else? Oh, I guess we have an announcement, right? So
Maybe a small one.
next week, let's talk about next week. Next week is the 7-year anniversary. Trick or Treat Radio has been going for 7 years. It is still kind of mind-boggling and fucking baffling to me that we've been doing this for 7 fucking years. But it is the 7-year anniversary next Wednesday on the 24th. So I would love if, especially folks we haven't heard from in a while, or new listeners, or people from all over the fucking world, I would love to hear from you. One of the main reasons is it's going to be the end of an era. Now, things after next week are going to be different. Things are going to change. And whether it's for better or worse, who knows? We've gone through a lot of changes over the years. When we originally kicked it off, it was me in the studio, and that was it. No one else. Like, I had a very small setup, and at the time, it was me, Mars, and then Tiny joined very shortly after. And MZ and Raven Shadow each had their own segment. MZ would do the film review. He'd call in from his phone, and Raven Shadow would do the second segment with us, and we'd basically talk comic books or pop culture or whatever.
Right.
And Raven Shadow would call in for that. Sound quality was fucking terrible.
Yes.
But you know what? Like, we sort of started to find our voice, and we had fun with it. And we're like, this is legit. Like, we enjoy this. Like, this is what we've been doing for years, sitting around the fucking diner table, whether it's Denny's or wherever we go, and we enjoy this. Let's keep going. So we wanted to kind of step things up. And then I ended up moving closer, and then I built a small studio at the time. I was just sort of like, growing a little bit. And in my apartment, I built out a little studio, and then we started to do the show from there. And then we started to go live. We were doing live to tape first, if you guys remember.
Yep, I remember.
We just recorded it, and then we decided, you know what? Fuck it, let's stream it. Let's stream it live.
Right.
Start streaming it. We had our problems with this is like an oral history of Trick or Treat Radio.
You could buy the soft cover later on.
Yeah, exactly. And then from there, we had all those bag of dick problems with Google, if you guys remember. Google Hangouts.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
They were the worst.
So we had a lot of issues. And the big thing, if you guys remember, was at the time was episode 77 was our biggest get yet, where we had Mike Allred.
Yep.
We were so fucking excited. We hyped this up. We did like an event page, and then Google Hangouts was fucking down that night. Like, completely down. Could not even connect, couldn't do anything, couldn't go live. So the show we had been like talking about for a long time, we recorded it still, but we wanted to do it live. It didn't happen. So kind of growing pains. And then from there we grew. We ended up hooking up with XSplit, worked out something with XSplit, started using that, started using YouTube streaming. Things were great. And then we eventually moved here to Castle Wolfenstein, where we've been for the last 3-ish years, I think, maybe more than 3. So almost half of the show's history has been in this building.
Wow. Yeah.
And next week will be the last show in this building, which is both sad and, it's kind of bittersweet. So it will definitely be the end of an era. I'm not going to get too much into the details. We will tell you guys all about it. The show is going to continue, I can tell you that, but it'll be in a different form. If people want to reach out, we'll probably talk more a little bit next week, maybe. But so next week is going to be our last live show in Castle Wolfenstein. And we're actually, after that, we're going to take a week off. There's not going to be a live show the following week, but we will be back the following week after that with a live show and maybe a day change. We're still on the fence. We may move the show to a different day. So just letting folks know, as soon as it's official, we'll let everyone know. But as of right now, next week, episode 365, which somehow seems like we've done a whole rotation like around, like it's just kind of funny how it landed on that. But that is the 7-year anniversary show and is the very last show in Castle Wolfenstein where we'll all be together. Now, doesn't mean it's going to be the last time that some of us will be together, but I guess I'll just say I'm moving. Unfortunately. So I know I will be. I got a job in another state, and I will be moving. So it's just the way it's just the way it's got to be. There's no way around it. But we're gonna continue with the show. It's gonna continue on, and who knows? Maybe we'll find new ways to sort of advance things. it's going to be different, but maybe it'll, maybe there's some added benefits to it. I don't know. So we'll see how it goes. So next week, like I said, last episode in Castle Wolfenstein with us all together, at least in this building. We'll be together again, but in this building, it is the last show. And I want this to be a party. I want it to be a huge fucking party. So for all of you listening live, we got a bunch of people listening live right now. Please mark your calendars and come join us next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Maybe 9:15, right, MZ?
Exactly.
So we'll be on the air just after 9 here. We're hoping to get a bunch of guests. We don't have the official plan yet, but we have some invites out to folks, and we're going to make it a party. So we'll probably hook up with some other shows, some other friends via Skype, maybe have some people in studio. We're still figuring it out. So there's a lot going on, as you guys can expect with the move. There's a lot that happens with that, and I have a lot of shit that I need to take care of, so I haven't been able to pay as much attention to booking the show. But it'll happen, and we'll have something fun. It'll be a good time. But I would love for you guys to come join us for that, and also to send in voicemail. And you know what? Maybe we could, since it is the end of an era, maybe we could have some sort of memories of Castle Wolfenstein, of I don't know, like some things that happened here, like what, you got something? Came in mind? What?
The night that fucking Michael Myers showed up.
Oh yeah. The night Kimona Wanalea danced atop Castle Wolfenstein. Yeah, Michael Myers showing up. Ares almost punched him.
Yeah.
That was scary.
Came in wearing a mini sombrero.
Yeah, he did. So that was fun.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of guests here, you know, a lot of folks who we hadn't met before. I think we've had in here. So there's been a lot of good memories at this place, and it'll certainly be missed. But one positive, if there is a positive, is that our overhead is going to be drastically reduced. So we have been paying rent and internet for the studio, and we will no longer need to do that. Now, obviously, Patreon's not going away. We're going to continue on with that, and we may adjust the tiers a little bit, and we may adjust the goals because, once again, we're no longer going to be broadcasting from this studio. But we will still be doing the show, and but I would like to celebrate the 7 years. Not, as we get older as a show, the milestones just sort of like they seem to just pile up, and it's like, whatever. Like, all right, now 7-year anniversary. Oh well, like, episode 400 is coming up. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Like, it just seems like after a while, it doesn't matter as much. But I think this is going to be a, to me anyways, I don't want to speak for these guys like Raven Shadow likes to do, but I think for me this is going to be an important one, and I would love to see a lot of people turn out, and a lot of people hanging out, and also if you can't hang out, send a voicemail. Just whatever you want. I just love to hear everyone's voice. And, from people all over the world. I know we've had people call in from Australia, from Finland, from Russia, Canada. So obviously the U.S., most of our listeners are in the U.S., but we have people all over. And I would really love to hear from people from all over. Just even say hi. I don't care. You don't have to. You don't even have to say anything that is of value, or like, you don't have to have like
we haven't done it yet.
Yeah. You don't have to have a hot take, whatever, even just call in and say, hey, I'm here listening. I love you. I love the show. Or I hate the show. I don't care. Like, let us know what you think. I'd love to hear from you folks. So yes. So we may even do like an event page or something like that, just to kind of like keep things, to remind people. 'Cause I know it's hard to keep up with everything. Everyone's got busy lives, but Wednesday, July 24th, 9 to 9:15 p.m., we will be live. It'll be the very last show with us all together in Castle Wolfenstein. So love to see you guys turn out for that, or at least send us some messages. We'd love it. So Match with Omaha says, sounds like exciting changes. Can't wait to see what you all do next. Sounds like a good reason to take next Thursday off from work. So, hey, I'm not telling you to take the day off the day after, but maybe we'll have a drinking game, Raven Shadow. What do you think?
Ooh, well, I know someone else who's off on that Thursday.
Oh, you are?
So just
you
saying.
still have to get up early, though.
Oh, I do, yeah. Well,
but you know what? Maybe if you I don't know how you are with coming up with drinking games, Raven Shadow. But if you come up with something, maybe every time you say Bombaleo.
Oh, it could be a Trick or Treat radio drinking game.
That's what I mean.
Every
maybe-
time Monster Zero says something nobody else on the podcast can comprehend.
We'll be
or when
passed
he-
out.
Yeah. If MZ, if you kill yourself on air, like everyone has to drink for like 10 minutes.
No, okay.
Oh,
Straight.
so they all join me, huh?
Yeah.
How about this?
They all die of alcohol
Anytime
poisoning.
Aries says anything, that's not part of the review.
Motherfucker. You sit down here and you jump on the fucking bandwagon. Okay, I see how this is.
So, but you know that might be fun, and you know what? Not everyone drinks Raven Shadow.
Why?
I don't drink,
Neither do I.
so maybe maybe we'll do
I
something
don't,
else.
really.
Oh, nice, Josh.
All right.
Give me some. There it
You want
is.
some like Coke or something? Some heroin?
MC put his fist up for that.
yeah. Here you go, MC. Come on. We'll get you
What
some
am I fist
morphine.
upping you for? I don't drink. I don't
Yeah,
drink.
you do. You apparently do coke though, because you put your fist up for that.
He likes how it smells.
He's gonna do some blow with the original OJ over here.
No, I don't advocate that, but I mean, unless you have some. No. No, they could, like, I don't know what you could do, like I don't know, do some avocado juice or something, Johnny.
Avocado juice.
Yeah.
I actually don't know
You
if that's
goddamn
a thing.
hipster.
I don't know what. I don't get a nice.
You got the hipster beard
I have,
going.
I have water.
Have a hipster beard going.
Oh,
Wow.
Rave Show isn't like that.
He's so insane. No, we can maybe get like a nice the country time tea.
Probably too much sugar in that shit. I said I like water.
I have water.
I do
yeah.
tea. There's
Water.
some tea I like.
Right.
Oh, MZ, I'm proud of you. Thank you. So make your plans. Come hang out with us next week or leave us a voicemail if you can't make it. We'd love to hear from you guys. All right. I know it's kind of like a dropped a bomb there, but now, we're going to move on from that bomb.
Yeah, I'm bringing the whole room down.
I know.
Buzzkill, Johnny.
By the way, the first time I saw Aries after I told these guys, he said, fuck you. He said, first of all, fuck you.
Oh, no. I said, congratulations.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you.
I'm sorry. I mixed them up. All I remembered was the fuck you.
Remember the important part of it.
But that's only because since it's you leaving, he's going to have to be in a room alone with these two.
Which one
Actually-
do I kill first?
Actually, that's a very good point. I didn't even think of that.
Kill
I'm sorry.
me first and put me out of my misery.
Raven Shot, you want to talk about? I don't know. Might as well. Do you want to talk about what's going to happen next?
Are we going there already?
If you want to.
All right. Well, we're talking about it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna pull it out and show everyone, we might as well do it right. So yes, while the end.
Wait, do
of,
you need a fluffer first?
I don't need, but if you got one in the back, you know what I mean.
All right, MZ, go.
All right, come here.
I suppose
Come
it
on.
couldn't hurt.
Yeah, you know. You have the least amount of facial hair, at least.
At least he had a hair in his body.
That's true. Yeah. So it's kind
Period.
of like, you gotta go fucking there. But yeah. So as Johnny so eloquently mentioned, it's the last time all four of us will be in the Castle Wolfenstein studio. All of us will be together on that last time.
Yeah.
But
What?
it's not the last time that at least three of us, and Josh potentially when he comes in town, can be together. No, because we actually have two. Be like the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
You know, the West Coast and the East Coast Avengers.
Well, it'll be East Coast and like lower East Coast.
Yeah. Northeast
Northeast
and,
versus
like,
South.
Mid-Atlantic.
I don't know where you're going, Johnny. Can I say where you're going?
That's
You know?
obvious. You don't know.
Well, I was saying what I thought. I was speaking to it like it was like a town. Like I'm like, well, where's Johnny going? Can I say where? Can you say it or no? Is it a secret?
It's not really a secret.
So can I say it?
Sure.
All right. So yeah, so Johnny's going to Maryland. And I'm like, what part of Maryland? I don't know. Fuck
What's it, Madeline?
Maryland. Yeah, going to Madeline's house.
Going to live with Madeline.
Yeah.
And,
I don't know what his lady friend
I'm
thinks
actually
about
surprised
that.
you get the state right. I was expecting you to say Montana.
Where is Maryland, Raven?
I don't fucking know. And I'm like, and then it took me a minute. I'm like, oh, that's the fucking state. And I'm like, all right.
yeah,
That's the
Maryland.
that is the state.
So there's fucking different parts
Maryland,
of it.
Munster.
Yeah, near Baltimore probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever watch The Wire?
No, I want to though.
He'll
I-
catch
I-
it. He'll catch it in
He's
its
moving right into
fourth
the
season.
wire.
I know, yeah, right, perfect. Yeah, good luck, brother. I'm on Stranger
Although
Things.
one thing I was cool I found out is I guess I might have known this because I think I did a book report on him in second grade. But Edgar Allan Poe lived in Baltimore,
Yeah.
and he was born here-ish, but he spent his formative years in Baltimore. So
That's where he died,
Yeah.
right?
You didn't know that?
Well, I had forgotten. I just, I don't know. Like I did a book report on him in second grade and just kind of forgot. So
Jesus.
yeah,
So while
all those drugs.
Wow. How could you forget that shit?
It's all not working out.
You need to cut back on the
Makes
water.
you forget.
Boston,
Yeah, exactly.
Baltimore, Philadelphia. He was all over the East Coast.
So and also the Ouija board was not spirit boards. Those have been around for a long time, but the branded Ouija board was also created in Baltimore. So there you go.
Ouija.
Ouija. Is that how?
Are you going to start giving us fun historical facts about Baltimore?
Flashbacks.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
Yeah,
of
maybe I'll do
Baltimore?
a segment.
Maryland flashbacks. So yeah, so while
Creepy girl says her cousin lives in Maryland.
nice.
Come hang out with me, MZ. Maybe we can meet her cousin.
All right.
Ooh.
Let's go.
Yes, so while Castle Wolfenstein will be transferring locations, the rest of the team will be at the new Raven Chateau Studios. Yeah, that's right.
Raven
Broadcast-
Shadow is really angling for that associate producer credit.
Oh my God, you broadcasting live from your boy, Leo.
You're going to do absolutely nothing except for supply the room.
Well,
That's,
listen,
hey, that's something.
I got the
Which-
table.
You know what else? You know what also has me
No.
worried about this whole situation?
What?
If something goes wrong on our end, I'm the one who's going to have to deal
Oh,
with it.
you are absolutely.
Well, what's different about that?
What do you mean?
You always
If there's
deal
a
with
tech
it.
issue right now, Johnny takes care of it.
Well, right.
But if he's not there, between the three of us, I'm the tech genius. Come on.
Well, no, I just said no. We're gonna leave. We're gonna have policies and procedures written up. We're gonna have notes.
We have a folder.
Notes
Yeah.
and pictures.
We
Yeah.
have to make a
Yeah.
3-ring binder for every possible
Yes.
issue.
Yeah.
It'll be like a troubleshooting guide.
Yeah, some of those FAQs, like the FAQs, frequently asked questions.
Fuck you.
FAQs. Yeah.
If Raven Shadow's mic comes unplugged, flip to page 98.
Shit. Maybe Ollie can work on it.
I trust him more than you.
Yeah.
Now
tech support.
I have a question that we never brought it up, but now the more I think about it, the more I think it should be talked about. What would happen if something happens on Raven Shadow's end in which he is unable to do the show?
You guys
I
just
can-
kick his door
Yeah,
in.
I can break into his house, no problem.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, but I mean, it'd be like anything else. Johnny's gone to concerts on show nights, and we've had to
you
like
motherfucker.
adjust it.
Well, I think the camera moved again.
Okay.
I think the
know what I'm
box-
saying?
No, I
right.
had to shimmy over because we have a guest.
I think
and I was like,
people-
this is perfect.
I
Well,
think
Creepy
people
Girl
are
wants to see
complaining.
you.
No,
Yeah.
she doesn't.
Yes, she does.
She says she wants to see you.
People were requesting that you be on camera.
Yeah.
I didn't hear her say anything.
So yes, we will have a I don't know if I want to call it a satellite studio because it's going to be like an actual studio. We're going to build a studio. We're taking a lot of the equipment that we
Yeah.
have here, not everything, but we're taking the mics and a bunch of stuff, and it's going to the Raven Chateau.
Oh,
So
it's-
we're going to be broadcasting from 2 studios, Castle Wolfenstein and the Raven Chateau.
Oh, it's gonna be exciting.
I'm not calling it that.
All right, you guys
All right,
come up with another
Then
name.
it's a sexy speakeasy.
I'm not calling it that
you're,
either.
you're gonna be in there.
It's a fucking room. Come up with a better name.
You're so unimaginative
Castle
bastard.
Wolfenstein. That's epic.
yeah,
But that's his
Like,
thing.
there
Yeah.
should be music that plays behind that. Yes.
Well, then go to fucking Maryland.
It will.
Go to
Aries.
Castle-
I mean,
Castle
if you do visit your
Dorkenstein.
Not
your
that
son,
far from Philly.
there you
Yeah.
go.
No,
You
it's
can come
good
stay with me. I just bought an air mattress.
We'll call it Castle Dorkenstein.
No,
That's good.
that's someone else's gimmick. I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like the Dorkening, I guess. That's
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that where you want to broadcast from?
Dorkenstein.
Yeah, really? Is that
No.
Ooh, Match of Omaha says group action at the Sexy Speakeasy.
Oh, you don't even know, buddy.
See, that makes it worse.
Oh yeah, I like that.
And Evil Corny says, my co-host of Movie Masker, Corey, is in Maryland. Oh, look at that. Maybe I'll hang out with Corey.
Bambaleo.
And then he says, will the Raven Cave be called the Golden Pillow Studio?
Whoa.
What about the Raven Cave?
That's better.
A Golden
Cave.
Pillow Productions.
Golden Pillow Productions.
Golden Pillow Productions.
Are you guys trying to talk me out of doing this?
No, because we do come with we do the shadow cabinet. You know, I mean the Raven.
Shadow Cabinet? What the? Are you
It's
making
fucking-
an art project?
Yeah, no, I mean the Raven Loft's a little bit too on the nose, you know, but do like a Dana Hershey
hey,
thing.
Creepy Girl says the Shadow Chateau.
Well, I think that wasn't that a name? Wasn't that one of the possibilities before, or am I not remembering right?
I think it might have been. I like that. I like that, but I think Raven Chateau is like you take Shadow, but you put Chateau, right? Am I using that right, Josh?
I mean, I see where
We've
you're doing.
okay,
we've
yeah,
been
yeah,
saying
sure.
it for years, and you're just now trying to figure it out.
I don't know what I've been saying.
I
for
mean,
years.
it's definitely one of those clever things like a middle school kid would come up with.
Thank you. Yes, I'm a fucking wicked clever middle school kid. I would dominate a gym class, and maybe not. How old's
You would not dominate a gym
We
class.
could call it the
All right.
Raven Haven. How do you like that?
no, I don't like that.
It's not terrible. I'm not.
You know what?
fucking rude
Maybe
like you.
maybe we'll have the listeners submit
Oh.
their suggestions next week. How about
I like
that?
that.
That's an easy call-in, right?
Yeah, that'll fill up about 5 minutes.
So if anyone out there has suggestions of what to call the new studio at at the Raven Chateau, if you want to call, come up with names and send us a voicemail or an email. That would be a perfect way to get involved if you don't know what to do. Podcast at trickortreatradio.com. If you name it and we pick your name, we'll send you something.
Now, keep in mind, it'll piss him off if you name it and it doesn't involve his name.
Well, it has to be voted on by everyone.
Yeah.
So he does get a
Oh,
vote at
I'm
least.
voting on anything that doesn't involve his name.
I think I can final
Because
cut,
it'll
right?
piss
I mean,
him off. No.
Final cut.
I don't know.
What do you?
All right, we could just call it Michael's Place.
Yeah, we can sell fucking arts and crafts.
just call Michael's.
Yeah, you can get fucking picture
Michael's,
frames and some doilies. We make a fucking craft project. That
Yeah,
calls
we'll
me
call it
down.
Michael's.
Michael's, yeah, perfect. We are live from Michael's. We're having 10% off picture frames and
They
candles.
do have a lot of fucking sales.
They do.
Every
yeah.
fucking
They
week
do.
they have a different fucking sale.
They do.
And you know what? They sell their fucking poster frames for ridiculous amounts of money.
Oh,
Yeah.
my Lord.
Wicked
and then,
cheap. Like half
but then
off.
they do like a 75% discount.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the posters are good, too. The poster frames are good,
No,
too.
they're not.
No.
Really?
These ones.
I never
Oh,
had a problem with
those ones suck.
Oh, yeah,
They
those
break
ones are
so easily. They
Mine
do
never
have
broke.
other ones that are good, but they're expensive.
them. Mine never broke.
You have those ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. There's one in the other room that's
Yeah, I
broken.
know.
I never even got to use it because it broke as soon as I got it back. And now I have one at home that I had to fucking use Gorilla Tape to hold
Well,
together.
if you weren't so goddamn hard-handed, man, you wouldn't have this problem.
Jesus Christ.
Right to the
fuck?
mic.
Yeah. He didn't even finish his fucking statement. He fucking belches.
You're so fucking blah.
Evil Corny says, call it the lair of lost swag.
Yes! Yes! That gets my vote.
It wasn't lost, Corny. I knew exactly where it was, okay?
The time
knew
machine.
But it was
Exactly
lost
where
to
it was.
everyone else.
Well, no, he knew where it was, too. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's
That
so,
gets my vote.
that gets my vote.
That gets my vote.
Wait. It has to be officially to enter. You have to send a voicemail or an email. Podcast at trickortreatradio.com. And we'll,
Corny, get
we'll
on it
vote
right
next
now.
week.
Step up.
Okay, so
Get
so
right
in-
on it right now so
and
we
we'll-
can vote it
we'll
in.
play it next week
in
and vote
that
next week.
theme, given his inability to bring things to the post office, I vote that the studio will be called the Death Letter Department.
Oh my God! This is now we have. This is tough.
Dead Letter Studios.
This is tough.
Those are good. You better call in with that, Josh, next week.
I will.
And then Creepy Girl says the Bombaleo Bungalow.
Ooh. See, she's using the grape right there. Using the grape, creepy girl. I like that. She's smart.
Please, Creepy Girl, if you want to submit that, email or voicemail or email. Podcast at trickortreatradio.com.
Wasn't lost, Corny, okay? Know who loses things? The post office, okay?
Wait, how are they to blame that you didn't bring it there for a year?
No, but I was very concerned they would lose it. And I
Oh,
was worried
yeah,
about...
I
No,
bet.
it's true. Listen to me. Listen to me.
But how did you ship it eventually then?
Why I didn't trust it. So it was out of my hands,
Wait,
Corny.
wait, did it
was
get
there.
there?
I don't know where it went, but I think Corny has it now.
Now, from my understanding,
Yes.
you got in touch with
A deputized agent.
Yeah.
Debutante?
See, I said it right. Josh, did I say it correctly?
Yeah,
You
but
got
it
in
still
touch
made no
with
sense.
you got in touch with Slagoth, or Slagoth got in touch with you about finally acquiring what you have been supposed to send over to him over a year and a half ago.
I thought we were talking about Corny.
Now wait a second. Let's take a step back. Did you ship it or did someone else ship it?
Doesn't matter how it got there. The moral story was
He didn't
I
ship it.
kept
He
it
did
safe,
not.
Aries. You understand?
Wait,
You
did
didn't
you
keep it
hand it
safe.
off to Aries to ship?
No.
No?
Someone
They
else
reached out
shipped it.
to me get
No,
involved.
I
But I
okay.
believe before I was able to intervene, it was
okay.
ship.
It was in very capable hands that I trusted leaving.
Look, I gotta say, Raven, I literally ship like dozens of packages a month all over the world.
Stamps.com, baby, right?
Well, that doesn't, but it's still in the post office.
Okay, all right.
And like in like the past 3 to 4 years, I think I've had one thing get damaged or lost.
And be ashamed if one of those things was corny. So that's
But
why I
I'm
was
just
still
saying that
Oh
the
my
percentage
God!
You
is
are
surprisingly low.
fair.
every
you know what?
excuse on the planet.
The post office, you can actually buy insurance for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know. I work in insurance. I don't trust it.
So you could have claimed like double the value of what was in there,
Oh.
and then if they did lose it, then you could
Make
split
out.
the money with Corny, where you both make out.
All right, corny. This year in Rock and Shock, here's the plan. You got to come up, right?
And he's going to leave his shit with me.
All right. Oh yeah, fine. Yeah, I'm sure
And
it's.
then Aries is gonna get double the insurance.
What's that?
I believe that's Raven Shadow's basement.
See, that's fucking real. Those are the fucking hurlers. Thank you.
That's the airport.
I don't
That's
know where
the
it is.
airport.
Yeah.
Well, how do you think the post office gets it to Florida? Airports.
Airports.
Yeah, I don't trust the
Airports. How do they work?
It's fucking weird. Some days they don't. They ain't got no TSA up in that motherfucker most days. No, I think we can all agree on is that it's gonna be an exciting new era.
I think we all can agree you didn't send it, so why don't we say who sent it?
Yeah.
Why don't we give
did
Go ahead.
props?
I don't know who sent
Give
it.
props.
I don't
You gave
wanna-
it to
I
a
don't
total
wanna-
stranger?
I don't. Yeah, no. Some dude down the street. He
No,
seemed
give
pretty-
props.
I don't know what's
Really?
the right word
No,
to say.
who
You're not-
brought it to the
who-
post
You're
office?
not willing
Brought
to,
it.
to say that.
My very special lady friend brought it to the post office.
There you go. It's about time.
All right. Well,
It took him just as
special-
long to admit he was wrong to say that.
Special lady friend, you get the props for all this.
So
And
evil,
our sympathy.
evil Corny says, Marion and Aries help me liberate my swag.
Thank you.
The liberation of Corny's swag.
I think it was a team effort, Corny. We all played a part.
Aries is the modern day Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, no.
Whoa, whoa. That's, all right,
See,
all right,
yeah,
all right.
yeah. Who's your hero now?
All right, well, let's not go that far. Come on. That's
Yeah. See, yep.
especially with all the talk going on in this fucking country lately, all right?
No, I think it's going to be a new era, is what we're all saying.
It is going to be a new era.
And there's some new things that we've been talking about. Johnny and I have been talking about producing some new content. We'll tell
What?
you guys. No, you know what we're talking about.
No, we
had
don't.
Yeah. Listen, don't worry about it.
Layer of lost swag.
You just got that one, huh?
I just hit him.
It's funny. If it's funny, I'm gonna laugh at it.
What's that guy doing?
That's a letter.
Oh, see, yeah. I don't trust letters.
Slegoth commented, and he says, "The House of Mystery." That's his recommendation.
Ooh.
If you guys want to submit these legitimately, podcast at trickortreatradio.com. Voicemail would be preferred, but we'll take an email if you don't have time to send a voicemail. And he says because John Constantine hangs out there,
Thank you, Slagoth.
which is true. And hey, John Constantine has a special place in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. The smokestack.
The smokestack. No.
Smokestack.
No, you
Calhoun.
better not fucking smoke these guys out.
I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't smoke. I don't smoke upstairs. I don't smoke
Yeah,
in the rooms.
it probably goes from the fucking basement upstairs, though.
Nah, that's no.
He's got a vent that he put in.
Thank you, Josh.
Straight
Yes.
from the smoking room right into the studio.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's nice.
It's gonna be like
And-
at the end of Up in Smoke, where
And the thing is, he keeps the
vents are
windows and
just gonna
doors
have
closed
smoke
all
billowing
week, so
out
when
of
they
it.
come over and open the door, it's just going to be wafting
Yeah.
smoke out at them.
No, I'll get some incense going. It'll be nice. Light some
No,
candles.
no incense.
Why? I'm set a mood.
no mood to be
Why?
set.
You know, you
Why don't we
like
put
it.
on some Barry White while we're at it?
Barry fucking White on.
Aries, it'll be okay. Look, there's going to be some incense and a
It's
black
incest.
light. Like,
I don't want no
there's
black lights.
No,
I just want to see what's going on in
no
that room.
chairs, no chairs. You're just going to throw pillows everywhere.
Yeah, I'm just gonna light out.
Golden pillows.
Yeah.
Once again, are we trying to talk me out of going?
I'll be like Bombaleo, baby. Aries, what do
There'll
you
be-
think about that?
Hey, get your goddamn feet off of there!
You're stealing the fucking air.
What am I, a fucking spaceball?
He's come from suck to blow.
I'll
Turn it back over here.
No, you run your fucking mouth. Okay. Yeah.
He's gonna do that in his fucking house too.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking turn the power.
Well,
off.
one thing is gonna be nice. It'll be cooler. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
I don't believe it.
My house is
No,
definitely
actually,
cooler.
it is.
It's not.
It's
There's
nice.
no way it could be as warm as it is in here.
No, yeah, no, it's nice there.
This is literally.
No.
He went
I
Oh.
went. Yeah,
You went. Oh, because okay.
the day we checked it out, scooped it up. We have a thermostat in here in the hallway in the studio, and it is like as high as it can go right now. It's like above 90, and in days like this, the AC just doesn't really do much. It is a little bit, but
Yeah.
we're not. We're sweating out a little bit. It's like the fucking sun in here.
Oh,
So
man, that's why we're all black today, because I didn't want to fucking sweat through my fucking t-shirt again.
that was embarrassing.
Wait, there's a fan in that closet, isn't there?
No, I
No?
took it.
You took it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
But no, I got a ceiling fan above us. I'm gonna have,
I had no. My AC died in my apartment.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
forgiven.
that's right. Yeah.
So-
You're on the third floor too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So it was and packing and moving. It was
Yeah.
fucking brutal. So I did everything I needed to. So all right, we need to start wrapping this up because we got some movies to talk about. Dose, 2 of them. And so if you guys want to help support the show, obviously we still need help support because now we have basically internet in 2 places. We don't have the studio as the overhead, but we're going to have 2 studios. And also just, all the regular fees that we have, the hosting and things like that. So it's not going to cost as much, but we, still would help if you guys want to help support us. Patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And we have every month we're going to try to put up, we're not going to try. We are going to put up some bonus content. The August content, I'll just say this right now because that's right in the middle of my move. It might not be available on August 1st. I'll just say that. So it'll be as quick as we can get it. But we appreciate you guys' patience on that. But every month we will release some bonus content on the Patreon. And we appreciate all you guys so far that have helped us out. It's a huge help, and we want to try to get back and do something. So we'll do as much as we can. And now, who knows? Maybe Rave Chow could produce his own show.
It's gonna be a bold new era, man. I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
Yeah, a whole new dimension too, because I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
Well,
It'll just be you saying Bombaleo in front of the mic.
scaring the dog. Oh, I'm producing now.
Ollie should be the producer. He's
Oh yes.
He's more qualified.
he's the one I trust.
Yeah, Castle Ollie Stein. We may have to leave the door open because he don't like closed doors.
Well, he can hang out. He could
Yeah.
he could be the fourth participant at that studio.
We
the
don't need to
mascot.
close the door.
Yeah, no.
You don't have roommates that are gonna make a lot of noise,
No, yeah.
or do
Yeah.
you?
No.
No.
Why?
Nah, get
You-
some
you look-
airflow.
you look
Get some
shocked by that
airflow in
question.
there.
Well, I don't have roommates. No, I live a very lonely life.
No, you leave the door open. You get some airflow going.
Oh, I got the AC so many flowing. Got the ceiling fans
Flowing.
flowing. It's so sexy in here. You don't even know. I cleaned it out over the weekend.
You'll be amazed by the amount of X-Pac figurines.
Oh,
he
no.
has.
I've been in his home.
Okay.
They all have their tongue sticking out.
They do all different outfits though. There's not 2 of the same. And I have
Yeah,
a pot.
because they saw you coming, and they realized that if we put a different T-shirt on the same action figure, you're gonna buy it.
It's true. I got X-Pac in his just DX shirt and jeans. I have him in his original.
Was that the
red.
WCW Invasion X-Pac? You have? Did they ever do that one?
They never. No, they did have one. I do have it still in the blister pack. It's when they did that weird WWF line where they were like commandos.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that one.
So there was like a gun toting X-Pac in there before
my
they took the
God.
guns away. Yeah,
Jesus.
that's exciting.
I thought there's something else I wanted to mention. I'll just do this quick. I went to a concert last night. I'm wearing the shirt right now, Sanctuary. Sanctuary, if you guys aren't familiar, was a band from the late 80s. Their first album, Refuge Denied, was produced by Dave Mustaine, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they put out 2 albums and then broke up. And then Warrell Dane, the singer, went and formed Nevermore, which ended up becoming one of the better or bigger and better metal bands of the late 90s or 2000s. And unfortunately, Warrell Dane passed away a couple years ago. I think I talked about it on the air when it happened. But they recruited a singer who can sing just like him. It's fucking uncanny. And he's from a band called Witherfall. His name is Joseph Michael, and he performed, and he was amazing. So we saw that last night, T-Dog and I. And then Also, the band opening I wanted to talk about, Ghost Ship Octavius. And I'd heard of them before, but the drummer is actually from that band Nevermore that I mentioned. And he formed a new band, and they are really fucking awesome. And I've just been listening to him like pretty much nonstop since the show last night. It was the first time I'd ever heard him last night. And it is melodic, technical metal, I guess is the best way to put it. Some good hooks in the choruses and some great musicianship. So if anyone out there is not familiar and they like that sort of thing, melodic technical metal, check out Ghost Ship Octavius. They have both albums are streaming wherever. But if you dig them, buy them. But that's my recommendation. I'm not going to play any because we're running a little late here. But go check them out for yourselves. I really dug them and was pretty blown away. So that's my show update. And Raven Shadow. Also, there's another way that folks can help us out. Prime Day just happened. I hope everyone used our link because Prime Day just happened. I bought way more than I probably should have. But I actually got the computer that's going to be used in the Raven Chateau. It's coming tomorrow, I think. So we had to branch out, get a new computer, and got some other stuff as well. But hopefully you guys use it on Prime Day. But if not, you can use it anytime. Go to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, you can see the Amazon link. Click on it, it'll bring you right to Amazon.com. Put our affiliate link in. Doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. So if you guys do your shopping on Amazon anyways, just use our link. Doesn't, no big whoop, nothing changes. We just get a very small percentage, like typically between like 3 and 5%. So it's helpful. It's an easy way to help out. And once again, if you guys, if you just don't have the money to do the Patreon, that's the best way to help us out. Or if you do the Patreon and shop on Amazon, use that as well. So that helps us out, and we get a little bit of that. And
Johnny, Machuel of Omaha says he bought an Instant Pot through you all's link.
Oh, nice.
You can buy marijuana on
Crazy, yeah.
Amazon has an Instant Pot now, yep.
Holy shit.
It's funny. I probably was looking at that very same Instant Pot, Machuel of Omaha. I don't necessarily need one, but I saw that they that they had one for Prime Day deal. So, but that's why I bought my my air mattress that I'm probably going to be using for people who come visit. So, got a little deal on that. So thank you, Machuel of Omaha. I appreciate you using it. And also, Marion says I always use the link. Nice.
Thank you.
She didn't learn that from you, Raven Shadow.
No, she's fucking smart.
She is.
Have you ever bought anything from Amazon?
He doesn't. He thinks it's a fucking jungle.
Yeah, no, I don't want the ticks in there. I don't like that. Big snakes. No, I don't trust. I don't trust that, man.
You don't trust it.
I don't like putting my numbers over the information
You
superhighway.
have a credit card?
Yeah, I do. I got fucking 8 fucking.
You have
800
8?
I have 8. No, I used to. No, I got a fucking credit score in the 800s, man. I'm fucking.
So
I'm
fucking
good.
cosign for me.
Yeah,
Motherfucker. Next time I need something, I'm gonna fucking hit you
call
up.
me, yeah.
with 8 cards, he has shit for credit.
Yeah.
No. I have this one card, and I'm very frugal with it. I use gift cards for online purchases. No traceability, baby. You can't have that.
You would be fucking honored if someone stole your shit.
I'd be honored.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great.
credit
That's what
score
it
would
told you. Yeah.
My credit would go up. Yeah, no, I don't want that. Like,
You have,
you
you have a
fucking
double-digit credit score.
Yes. No, I'm really good. I'm really good. I better hurry up quickly though, because I could end.
Yeah.
And really
Well, yeah.
soon.
Well, that good credit score is not gonna do you any good.
I just need to be in a good position for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Then after that, fuck
4
it.
to 6 weeks.
That's all I need for some things I'm working on right now. Some signings.
Oh, we got Tim Chuma says
you.
Bombaleo.
Thank you.
And he says travel agent got all huffy when I said I didn't want to book through him. Chasing the commission too hard means I don't use him. Easy fix. Huh?
Yeah,
All right.
Fuck him.
So it looks like Tim Chuma might be coming to join us at Rockin' Shaw.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. I can't wait. And speaking of Rockin' Shock, I'll just mention that real quick. Josh, are you going to be there this year? Do you know? It's still up in the air.
From what I understand, there will not be a film room.
Aw, boo.
That was the last I heard.
Suck.
So I will, as far as I know, I will not be there in an official capacity. But assuming that I don't need to be rushed into emergency surgery again this year,
True, yeah.
I will plan to at least attend for a day.
Nice.
Good.
as a
Bring Sharp Hand Joe with you.
Because I will be at Rock and Chalk. It's probably going to be the next time that I come back.
Yeah.
Come back to the homeland. So I will definitely be at Rock and Chalk. And it is October 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Yes.
So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I got all those days free, so.
So you didn't have to pay for any of them?
Absolutely.
So if any of you guys want to just come out, you got some extra pocket change kicking around, you want to fly out here, you want to drive up here, definitely let us know. Oh, MZ, I have a... Is there a little bag of pins over there? Will someone see?
What?
There's at least one in there for you. I'm sure you'll pick it out as soon as you see it. But if you want any others, you can take any others. But there's one specifically I think you'll enjoy.
Is this one really mine?
Hmm?
Is that one really for me?
Yeah, you want it?
I do. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You'll know immediately, MZ.
Deadites.
Well, that's not it, but...
Mr. Mixelplick.
Nope, that's not it either. Not Mr. Mixelplick.
The American Chicken Bunker.
Yes.
Talking to the mic.
Yeah, talking to the mic.
Shut up. I already got it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. Does Josh want it? Did you see Poltergeist, Josh? Trauma?
I actually think I have one of these pins as well.
All right. Well, hey, if someone else wants it, if not, I'll
Why don't
find
we
someone.
a fistful of pins here.
Ow. Yeah, I was gonna say all the points are putting out. So if any of you guys want those, feel free. Otherwise, I don't know. Maybe I'll keep them. Maybe I'll give them away. I don't know. I got some T-shirts too. If you guys want to look through them,
I'm gonna check through those.
I'm getting.
Is that what the bags are?
Yeah, I'm getting rid of a lot of shit.
I got some socks and some breeches in the back if you want those too.
I actually am giving literally. I have a huge fucking bag of socks and underwear. Now I know you typically I saw that the Goodwill actually takes them and they will recycle the material. They don't resell them. I don't think. I hope not, because that's kind of weird.
No, they make rags with them.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I know that because I use recycled rags at work.
Oh, so you get someone's underwear?
Potentially. they do their best to disguise it.
All right. So I think that is going to wrap up this. Raven Shadow, you sit down to watch. Do you want to do... Well, we're going to do Trespassers first. So you sit down and watch Trespassers. What do you do to prepare?
Tell you what I do. I don't fucking sweat my fucking balls off like I'm doing right now, Johnny. No, I was basking in
Baskin Robbins?
Oh, man. Baskin Robbins. I was fucking cool like Bobby Drake up in that motherfucker. And I was thinking about the possibilities, Johnny. Think about all the stuff we could do.
Yeah.
When it's Aries, Monster Zero, and I, and definitely Josh, maybe 2 or 3 times a year. It'd be exciting. Let's be a couple of dudes in the sexy speakeasy, just kind of just vibing. And maybe, we could talk about anything, and maybe we could not talk about anything at all. We just sit there and not talk and just look at each other and really just think about things.
Yeah.
And whatever happens, happens.
Okay.
And that'd be fine, right?
Sure. Yeah, it could be fine.
If you don't have anything to say, just say the damn line.
So then I just fucking strapped on.
Thank you.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk, their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips, the beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
Hey there, this is R.A. Salvatore, call me Bob, and you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
And we have returned on Trick or Treat Radio. We heard the dangerously aroused goblin right there in the break, MZ.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I missed it.
So we're actually working on the AC. I think it was so fucking hot in here because I think the filter was dirty.
Ugh.
It feels like it's actually cooler. Do you guys feel that yet?
It's not pointed towards me, so it's still mainly pointed towards you and him. You know, I'm gonna take Raven Shadow's seat again.
Just for a few minutes.
It's my Raven Shadow impersonation.
All right, so Aries is helping to. I think the filter was dirty in the AC, so I think he's cleaning that out. So, while we wait for Raven Shadow and Aries, I will read the chat. Let's see. Oh, Corny says, "Tell Josh I said hi."
Hi. Hi, Corny. How's it going?
And our boy Carondo's hanging out. He says, "Nice." Hey, Carondo.
Hey, Carondo.
And Tim Chuma says, "Still trying to get the booking agent to get me a decent flight on the Monday after the convention. 8 a.m. is too early to get to Logan, even from Boston. I will be drunk. I will be as drunk as 10 Raven Shadows."
Wow.
And also, Tim Chuma says 3 new Godzilla figures shown at G-Fest. You see these yet, MZ?
Ooh.
No, I haven't.
First look at NECA's Godzilla
at
display
San Diego
at
Comic-Con?
Yeah. Ooh, those are nice.
Oh.
Nice.
Damn, dog. Man,
All right.
I would love to go to San Diego Comic-Con. God damn, I would love to go to that.
I think I probably told the story. That's because that's where I met
Bray
Bradbury's balls. Yeah. But I went in 2002 and 2003. It was fucking awesome.
You shook glands with him.
Pretty much. But no,
Hey, at least you got a great story out of it.
Yeah.
It's gotten a lot bigger since then. So I think back then it was like 20,000 people. Now it's like fucking 200.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his balls.
His
balls got bigger?
Yes, since he died. All right, so we are going to talk about Trespassers now.
Oh, boy.
All right, Trespassers is a film that just got released on VOD on July 12th, probably playing in some select theaters. It is 88 minutes long. It is a thriller, and it is unrated. It is directed by Orson Odlowitz, and it is written by Corey Deshawn.
What am I hearing? I don't know.
Is it mine? Oh, I think it's me. Yeah, it was me.
Oh.
I opened the chat just so I could see it here, and that's
Oh,
that's my bad.
I see.
Well.
Even though I had the sound off,
He's already checked out.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm already done. So, and it was written by Corey Deshawn, and it stars Angela Trimber, Janelle Parrish, Jonathan Howard, Zach Avery, Firuza Balk, Carlo Rota, Joey Abril, and Sebastian Sozi.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah, did you just realize that that's who that was?
Are you kidding me?
Come on, we talked
love
about
of God,
we
you-
talked about it last week. You son of a bitch. Talk into the fucking mic. Come on.
I think
We
you
need-
should.
Go
I think
ahead.
you should brush your
Just
hair a
the-
little lighter because I think the bristles starting to
no. I
massage
wanna-
into your brain.
I
No,
wanna
he,
hear
he,
this. I
wait,
wanna-
he brushed his hair. Oh my god, that feels so much better. Aries, I love
Oh,
you right now.
I am a god.
Well, yeah, because it's
You are. You're the god of war. So
Aim it over here. Let me feel.
that sounded really bad out of context.
I had it lined up before Raven Shadow sat down and
Fucking moved
Knocked
it.
it
Will you
all out of
put it
whack.
over there? Bring it over. Aim it this way.
Raven Shadow,
Ooh.
I just got my credit report. No new changes.
Oh man.
Is that good?
Well, yeah. I mean, it didn't drop. It didn't drop. I get anxiety too.
Actually, mine's getting better. It was doing good, and then it took a little hit because I had to buy some shit, buy a new car, really. But
We charged the whole car.
well, no, they checked 10 different fucking. They did credit checks at 10 different fucking banks to get me a fucking loan.
Oh Jesus.
So it dropped.
I'm going to the bank tomorrow. I'm going to fucking anxiety.
All right, what Aries, go ahead. Sorry.
What?
What were you berating him about?
Oh no! I want to hear him justify how he doesn't know who was in the movie we're supposed to watch.
No, I didn't just. I'm not fucking
He
justify it.
doesn't know the one recognizable person.
But I knew there's something familiar about her. I mean, I've seen her
You-
before.
are
You know,
fucking
you
kidding
could have
me?
looked up on IMDb to find out who this recognizable person
I like
was.
being surprised.
But you know what? I watch a movie and go, I know that person. Who is that person? When the movie's done, I look the shit up.
Well, I don't have that.
Or you
kind of-
just watch the credits.
Well, listen. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
How can
Like-
you not know? She is one of the most recognizable faces ever that I've ever seen
in the world?
In the world.
In the history of
In
the
the
world.
history of the fucking world.
Yeah.
She is the most recognizable person.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
No, I've seen different renditions of him.
Yeah.
That's fair. I guess.
Firuza Balk, I've seen one. There's no mistaking her.
Well, I'm the fucking guy that mistook her. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just started watching Stranger Things.
Now, do you know
and-
what character we're talking about?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, the young girl.
Yeah, the guy that was doing the coke.
The young girl. Is that how you refer to her as the
Yeah,
young
the-
girl?
the
She was the
sheriff.
oldest. She was the
sheriff,
oldest
right?
woman in the whole movie.
This sucks. I wish you would move to fucking Maryland.
The guy in the skull mask.
Name
right?
another movie she was in. Quick.
Oh, come on, the fucking Craft, the fucking
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 Craft.
fucking Craft. Was she in? I think she was in Goodfellas. No, that was Debbie
Return to Oz.
No, Debbie Mazar was that.
Return to Oz, American History X, The
Yeah.
Waterboy.
All those. Yeah, Waterboy. Yeah.
The Waterboy. Yeah.
You recognize her in those, but not this.
Yeah, the Waterboy with the Big Show.
Captain Sano.
Captain
Yeah.
Insano.
And the Fonz. The Fonz. But yeah, well, I'm fucking sorry. I'm just fucking Josh. Listen,
Yeah, apologize to him.
I'm sorry, Josh.
Yeah.
I mean, I am. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, that's right. She was in Almost Famous. That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, she was a Band-Aid.
What?
Did you ever see that fucking movie? No, that's what they called themselves. They weren't groupies. They were Band-Aids.
Keep on talking, and you're going to be needing a Band-Aid.
Let me catch up in the chat room real quick. Matchel of Omaha says, in college, the Goodwill did sell used underwear. Tidy whities that weren't so whitey.
Don't buy those.
And Marion says, gross. And he said, Matchwell says, we ran into a guy from high school buying used lingerie for his lady friend. Was weird. Used lingerie
Used lingerie.
at Goodwill.
At Goodwill, use lingerie.
That doesn't benefit either one of you.
Oh, she was also in Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead, he said.
Yeah.
I can't believe. How do you not recognize Firuza Balk?
Because I'm a fucking dummy, Johnny. I guess.
Oh,
I
yeah,
guess
you
I
said it.
fucking am.
You
I mean,
said
I'm
it.
sorry. I wasn't thinking. I had a lot of things in my mind. And I'm like, all this stuff, fucking.
All this stuff.
Drama, stress, whatever the fuck. Hey, is that fucking Firuza Balk?
I'm sorry. Are you the only one with drama and stress in your life?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about Firuza Balk. I'm just the big
But you know what? She shows up at the door and you go, hey, I know that. I know her.
Yeah.
I didn't go to fucking high school with her. I mean, she had fucking glasses on. She looked like she looked kind of like the girl from the Benny Hill show that would always sit on the park bench that would yell at Benny Hill.
You know what she looked like? She looked like an older version of the chick from Waterboy.
You know what's great is he's totally using the Superman logic. Well, I didn't recognize the shit glasses.
Thank you, Josh. It does work.
He's the only one it works on.
Thank you, Josh. Absolutely.
You're the only one
My
that.
God, you are so goddamn
It's
naive.
because you're such a Clark sucker.
You are a gullible ass. You know that?
You're a fucking miracle.
I am a fucking miracle, all right? My mother tells me all the time. I'm bringing Josh with me when I go to fucking job interviews. What he really meant to say, he's qualified. I'm like Bambaleo. And they'd be like, whoa, he's really good at, delegation.
So this film does feature Fairuza Balk.
Holy shit, if you better fucking
We better what?
What?
know that it's her, guys. Otherwise, you'll be fucking...
Everyone in the world knows
Your
as
friends
soon
will
as she
yell at
pops
you.
up.
Oh, Tim Chuma does have some really good advice. Don't buy used underpants or keyboards. I would agree with that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or condoms.
Come
You
on.
speaking from experience?
Yeah.
That's a yes.
All right, let's talk about this fucking movie, all right? So, directed by Orson Oblowitz, who also directed The Queen of Hollywood Boulevard from 2017. I unfortunately missed it. It played at BUFF, the Boston Underground Film Fest. But it was getting some decent buzz, and I was curious. So, I am familiar with some of his work. I hadn't seen it, but, I'm familiar with him. But, this is his second feature. And I don't know. I want to actually see, was Corey Deshawn written prior to this? This is, so he wrote a film called Shine from 2017. It's a drama musical. Okay, I have not seen it, but he helped write that. But I think we might be talking about Corey Deshawn's work in this discussion later.
Well, before we get too into this, I just want to say one thing. If you enjoy the shock or surprise of movies at all, and you have the vague interest in watching this movie, watch it and then come back and listen to this review, because I feel that a lot of the surprise, the twists, do this movie a lot of help.
Yes. See, I thought everything was telegraphed.
Really?
So poorly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no. Well, okay. Well, I mean, we'll get into it, but
Yeah.
if just what, go watch the movie, come back. We'll wait.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Watch.
if it, we're not gonna talk about specific plot points to spoil.
Spoilers, but
but
we will get into some things.
Yeah, we will
No,
need
we're
to get
we're
into.
spoiling the whole.
We will need to get into some things because there is this movie does take. I'm not going to say it's like a ton of twists, but there are a couple little things that change. The perception of things. So I just want to, and I think it's important to discuss in terms of, because I did have some issues with it actually. So, but it seems like it worked for some, maybe not for others. So, but I will say that this film had a hell of an opening, and I thought it definitely set a tone, like a really good tone, and it leaves you wondering, okay, we know something is gonna fucking happen based on this intro. When is it going to happen? So it's basically a couple of, I don't know what you want to call them, like thugs, killers, certainly the aforementioned titular trespassers, and they have a couple who are basically just in their, like, speaking of underwear, in their underwear, and they take them out of the car and shoot them in the head, both, and then boom, that's pretty much the opening here.
Right.
It's a cool quick little intro. It really, I thought it really made this film hit the ground running and made me wonder where, because obviously that's just sort of like a preface, sort of like, here's a glimpse. Now we cut to the main characters, and so then I thought that was a great opening. So for me, this film started off really hot.
Agreed.
Did anyone not like the beginning?
I thought it was a little short and a little forgettable.
Okay.
Because as the movie progressed, I forgot about that.
See, I thought the beginning actually gave you too much information.
Well, I think it set expectation. And I
Right.
think that might be my problem with it, because it set an expectation that I was waiting on. It's like, okay, well
okay, so
clearly these characters are coming back.
Right, so, because I'll say something is that clearly, like the quote-unquote trespassers have this couple, and they are trying to get some information or something from them, which then they say, where is it? And they're like, well, it's back at the house. And then that's when they get killed.
Yeah.
So you understand, okay, these people are going to show up looking for something at the house.
Yep.
Then when we're introduced to our main characters, immediately they stumble upon something a little bit unusual, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what they're looking for.
Right. It was. There was a lot of focus put on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't 100% clear that it was the same house.
Well, no, it wasn't clear it was the house, but
No.
you did see the mask.
The mask.
The mask.
Oh, no,
The
but I
mask.
mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But
in the
like,
photograph, yeah.
Right.
Like it was like, was that that could have been like it just wasn't 100% clear.
Right, okay, well, it wasn't 100%, but I think it was enough to be able to go, oh, this is where the movie's going.
Right. Well,
Like-
also too about the house though, they made a point to say, "Oh, there was no one there." They made some comment when they were coming in.
Right,
too.
because the bedroom was a mess. They were
Yeah.
expecting somebody to greet them.
Yeah.
Actually, that's going to play into one of my complaints later on.
Okay.
I will add one thing to that, though. I think the sort of advent or you know the I guess the advent of Airbnb. Now they didn't necessarily say that this was Airbnb, probably because they didn't want to call like
Yeah, but they
promote.
refer to it as a rental.
Right. So this. I think that actually, I was like, oh, this adds a completely different wrinkle to the home invasion subgenre.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool because I haven't seen. I mean, I don't know if others have done it, but I haven't seen a home invasion flick that was like a case of sort of like in the wrong place at the wrong time because they're in a rental, like a Airbnb type thing, you know?
Right. It's either your uncle's, cabin or something. There's always some reason. But no, I thought that was a nice usage of the new,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
New whatever the fuck. But yeah, no, I thought that was a new wrinkle, and it adds, to me, it could add some freshness to a kind of tired subgenre where it's your own house or it's the cabin or you just hole up in some random house because it's what you find. Like, I just think it kind of adds a new little wrinkle.
A little bit of the mistaken identity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So, that was, I thought that, oh, okay, this is kind of cool and fresh. Like, I like that. And so one other thing that, and once again, this set an expectation. This is me because of what I was thinking. I was thinking that because of who the Trespassers were, they made a point to show that they were Mexican, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I thought it was going to go.
Right. So I thought this was going to be, I had high hopes because I thought it was going to be sort of like a take on the politics of what's going on in the world now. Now, I'm not going to say too much, but I was let down by that. I will say that because I thought it was put on a fucking platter.
Yeah.
And then nothing really, like it wasn't really done.
And I agree with that as
Agree.
well.
100%.
I agree. I think they kind of pulled back, and I feel that they pulled back on that because I think they were afraid that they were starting to get a little bit too serious.
But why have these like trespassers, be of a certain heritage from a certain country?
See, I thought.
And then plus,
Good.
earlier in the film, when the two couples converge in the house, there's the one guy who keeps making the comments of oh, I bet you got a lot of border crossers over here.
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
but
And that's
not-
when I thought that. Yeah,
But let's not jump onto the fact that this group is ultimately of a Mexican heritage. There's just one character that we know of that's of a Mexican heritage.
well, two of them were speaking Mexican, and they had very thick, thick accents. Like they were speaking, the dialect.
See, I thought the white people were the trespassers.
No, and
yeah.
and you could take it
You know
that
what I mean?
way. Yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
couple
You could
was,
take it that way.
I mean, happened to be a Caucasian couple that was getting shot.
Yeah.
And then now you have another two sets of Caucasian couples. I mean, it
you
seemed
you
like
could have taken it in a whole other direction, given that all of the Southwest used to be Mexico.
that's kind of where I was kind of
Yeah,
going
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Well,
you
and
know.
there's also that, and like halfway through this movie, I was pretty gripped because we'll talk about it in a second, but a new character is introduced. Basically these two couples meet. They're at a getaway for like what's a week or a weekend or a week or something. They haven't seen each other in a while. There's two friends, and they haven't seen each other while they sort of needed something because the one couple that were married, they had some issue which we later find out sort of what it was, had to do with I don't know. I guess it's not really a spoiler.
marriage difficulties.
Marriage difficulties, we'll say. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. And so they're sort of trying to work things out, and it seemed like she thought reconnecting with her friend might be a good thing. But it turns out her husband banged the friend, and the friend's boyfriend is a fucking drug-riddled dick. You know, like he's doing blow all the time, and he's kind of aggressive, and
Right.
you know, and
Kind
also
of aggressive.
and well, I'm not talking about that scene yet,
Okay.
but and he's also definitely probably would be wearing a red cap with white letters. I'll just say that.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. He seems like that kind of guy.
You know, based on what he said. And that's why I thought when he had that little sort of like speech
Yeah.
that I thought we were going somewhere else. And I was like kind of excited by that, you know? So I think it sets up this premise that got me excited and then it didn't deliver on. And that's sort of what was sort of a letdown for me. Not saying, you know, I just think that they put a few things on a silver platter. They could have said something, they could have done something, and it just was left there on the platter with nothing done about it. And that's what I think was disappointing.
Yeah, I just felt that this movie carried through the typical home invasion tropes, and even the twists, the minor, I will say, the minor twists and turns.
With one character specifically, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
That would be, well, a couple actually. That would be. It's just become stale. You know, you got a couple of red herrings going on. Even those, you know, I've been watching home invasion films for a lot
Since I was 2.
a lot of years, an awful long time, and I've seen pretty much all of them, and this follows quite a few tropes.
Yeah.
With that, and you know, I mean, there's really not much to it. You know, people are in a house. Some aggressors come in, or trespassers come in and harass the people inside. You know, and you know, there's a little bit of murder going on, and probably some other things. But and then there's
The Scotia.
and then there's the the big payoff, the big revenge factor, and there's really not much that could be added to that.
I
you
mean,
know?
well, you saw everything that was going to happen in this movie 100%.
Well, not 100%. I mean, there's a bunch of things that, you know. I mean, like what are you talking about?
Well, because I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm legitimately asking you.
I'm
was this
talking
movie
about
100% predictable for you?
A lot of it was.
Yeah,
Because I've seen
but-
an awful
but-
lot of them.
Okay,
I'd say upwards of 90%. Like,
Really?
like- like-
Okay,
like-
that
like-
much for you.
Like the character turn, like completely saw that coming.
Yeah.
The couples,
No,
they were very just run of the mill, very predictable.
Right.
But a lot of the other characters that were introduced.
Yes.
Yes.
There's a specific character midway through the film.
Yeah.
That,
Well, not even. I mean, I know which one you're talking about, but
Yep.
a lot of what happened beyond those characters was surprising to me.
Okay.
Pleasantly, like not like it was like, oh goody, this is happening. Just like I didn't see it coming. I was happy that this was happening. Like I try as much as I can not to read anything about movies. As soon as I find out the movie, I try not to research it at all. I want to go in absolutely cold as much as I can.
Yep.
And this movie I knew nothing about, so I did go 100% cold into this movie. So I got that intro, and then they went into the story with the couples.
Yeah.
So I actually started to forget about that intro.
Right.
That
Right.
like that was not in my head.
Okay.
So every one of these little twists and turns that happened was new and shocking to me.
Yeah.
Even though in most movies it was predictable, but
Right.
because I could forget about it, it was shocking. And some of these things were they didn't break any new ground, but I didn't see it coming for
Right.
this
and,
movie.
And maybe it's just that since I wasn't as engrossed in the story as you were, that it led me to be able to pick it apart a little bit more.
Yeah.
And go, oh wait, that's this. Oh wait, that's this.
Yeah, and you know what? I can see that.
Right. Right. You know,
I-
because it's like the car outside. I immediately recognized the car from the opening scene.
That that did the whole film a disjustice.
Yes.
Because I did recognize that car.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that brought me back to.
Yeah.
The foundation of this.
Right.
And I think, you know what, actually, probably if you took out that opening scene, as good as it was,
yes,
it probably would have
given more
shock and awe.
It would have helped.
I think it would have. I don't think it necessarily would have helped with my complaint about the character in the middle of the film, but my complaint about being able to figure out the whole setup would have negated all of that.
I mean, there was some little things that it was just like, okay, yeah, I can see that after the fact.
Yeah.
But in the moment,
yeah,
definitely took me back. Yeah. And that, you know what, that's kind of what I look for in this type of movie.
Yeah, and there was definitely still some shocking moments, like some of the kills were definitely.
There was some nice kills in this movie.
Yes. So, it's just the me and Aries cast now.
Well, it's nice to see him arguing with someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not arguing. We're having a discussion.
Yeah.
All right. I'll rephrase. It's nice to see you having a discussion with
someone else. I wish we could delve a little bit more because, like, there's like the specific things I want to complain about. I also don't want to complain about because
you don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
You know what? Because a lot of the things I love to nitpick about movies are so spoilers.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, then, since we kind of had that preface by Aries in the beginning, do we go?
Well, that was just of a general, because there are twists and turns in this movie that if you didn't know there were twists and turns, you wouldn't be looking for. You wouldn't necessarily be looking for them. If you thought this was a straightforward invasion movie, some of these twists and turns you wouldn't be looking for.
Because I'm not a big home invasion movie fan.
Of course you're not.
There was no civil powers involved.
Poopy fan. You're not a big.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't like. I don't like shit in film, and I don't like people's homes being broken in and being assaulted in their sleep. But I'm a nut. I'm a nut. I'm a prude.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I can't believe you don't like that.
Yeah. You don't like fucking.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
But no. But I think it's like it's one of those things where you just know that you don't do these things. Don't let people in your fucking house. The Purge. Don't open the fucking door when the fucking gate's down. You have fucking gates for the reason. You invite the element in. And knowing that's a home invasion movie, you know that when Fairuza Balk walks to the front door,
you didn't know?
I better kind of call somebody.
I bet you if she walked up to your door, you'd be like, "Oh, hi." Oh, you need.
But you know what?
Okay, here.
These people don't know they're in a home invasion movie. All they know is there's some nice, petite, pretty young lady at their door who knows a lot about the home they're in.
Yeah, but they weren't like. But everyone, all the dudes were like, "Don't let her in." The coked out asshole was like, "Don't let."
Yeah, but she was like, "I need to use the phone. I need to use the phone. Okay, use the phone." Then she's like, "I can't get any service here. Oh, I forgot to. I had to call the babysitter, but I completely forgot to call the tow truck guy, and all these fucking excuses that she was laying on. After the second excuse, I would have kicked her ass right on out.
That's what.
And you got these guys with the use of the idiot plot to just keep on allowing her to continue making phone calls, roaming around the house, and all this
by
other
herself,
shit.
unsupervised.
I'm going to call bullshit on that.
On what?
On you.
Why?
Because you have strangers in your house all the time.
Oh, no.
He's like, who's this woman sleeping next to me?
If your lady is telling you that she's okay and to let her stay, you're letting her stay.
No. If say that again?
If your lady is telling her she's okay and she can stay, you're letting her stay.
Yeah, if I don't want to get the shit kicked out of me.
Okay. So that just contradicts everything you just said.
No, but I mean in a real world, I would kick her ass out.
These people don't know they're in a movie.
Well, that could be that. You could use that excuse with just about
anybody. With every movie, yes. That's why a lot of people die in horror movies. Because they don't know they're in a horror movie.
Are you actually using this excuse?
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Jesus.
I'm
they
sorry.
Don't know they're in a horror
Are you arguing that
movie.
people shouldn't die in a horror movie because they're in a horror movie?
He's arguing that everybody in a movie should be aware that they're in a movie.
Yeah.
That is what you're saying.
No, that's what you're saying.
No, it is not.
Look at the look in your eyes.
Yes, because you're arguing.
He's gonna hit you.
You're trying to flip-flop your argument.
No, I'm just saying that if it doesn't matter if it's a woman, if anybody came into my place and said I'd like to use the phone, and I, being a nice guy that I am, I'd say yeah, sure. But if there was a constant excuse of wanting to stay in that house, or to say in my place, if somebody was making excuse after excuse after excuse to wanting to stay in my place, I would start calling bullshit on that and start working on kicking their ass out.
So eventually you'd yell at her and demand that she leaves, and then when she doesn't leave, you'd physically try to remove her.
Yes.
Anyone else seeing this?
And that's how you die, Mom.
And you didn't know you were in a movie.
Right?
If this person was using the same exact excuses that this character was using, yes, I would.
I'm sorry. You're not seeing this.
No.
I just described what happened in the movie.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Who's this
Why
character?
is this so difficult to understand?
It's not.
Wolfie,
It's not.
Wolfie, shut up. Wolfie,
You
shut
said
up.
you said
Wolfie.
this wasn't. You said this wasn't believable.
What?
You said it wasn't believable what happened, and you just said you would do exactly what they did.
I didn't say it wasn't believable.
You were basically saying that how would it get to this point? You wouldn't have allowed that to happen.
That's right.
But you just said you would allow it to happen.
No, I wouldn't.
It's because he would have known he was in a movie.
I'm just saying with
God.
the use.
Honey,
of
do
the
you hear that
idiot
score?
plot-
Aries is like, I rest my case.
I'm just
and he's
saying with
sitting
the
back.
use. I'm just saying with the use of the idiot plot that.
But you're the idiot in this plot.
Okay. I get the feeling that with this discussion we're going to get nowhere in talking about this film, so I vote that we just go, we institute the spoiler music so we could just complain about the rest of the movie and get it over
Josh
with.
just wants to talk about dudes.
I'm with Josh on both fronts.
Okay, who here would rather talk about dudes?
Well, no, Josh, it's a mutiny. It's a fucking mutiny.
New producer, Josh.
Look, you see what happens when I try to talk about this movie.
You know what?
I was so with MZ for so much of that. I was with you, brother.
Really, you were with them?
I was kind of down the middle. I was kind of like playing both sides of the fence. I was like,
Ooh.
I was diversifying my skill
Go
set.
both ways.
Yeah. Well, you could do some producing, John. You could have helped us out with that.
For all those who ever say I pick on him, this is just exhibit like F or E. Or
Z.
we're somewhere down the alphabet.
Aren't you in the double letters?
Yeah, double C.
But no, I think even down to like she offered, they wouldn't let her in, and the one girl offered her a cell phone, and then it was the idiot plot. There's no cell phone reception.
Right.
Yeah.
Obviously there's no cell phone reception.
But
You have to
now
come-
here's the thing is, wouldn't that girl have known she didn't have any cell phone reception from being there a day?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing during the day, she probably didn't notice that. She probably did have reception, and that was just an excuse.
Right.
I think my biggest problem with this film, and I've complained about this in some of my call-ins, is sometimes we watch a movie, and it really seems like an outside party should have looked at the script and read it.
Well, this movie was without a date until the cell phone thing.
Right.
There was a lot of things that was like, wait, when is this
Yeah.
movie taking place?
Right.
Yeah.
But then when she was like, "Want to use my cell phone?" I'm like, "Okay, it's a modern movie."
Yeah.
And it was
Well,
just
it
like,
said-
that took me out of it a step.
Yeah.
Well, she said, well, I don't know. I mean, do we still call these things cell phones, or do we call them smartphones? We call them smartphones now. So, cell phones were cell phones
I
back
still
then.
say cell phone.
Yeah, it would say cover
Yeah. Well, to a lot of people, they're just phones.
Yeah.
Well, because they even had Polaroids. They were using the Polaroid.
Yeah, they were using
Yeah.
Polaroids, and
But you
not,
know what?
I mean, not even using selfies. They were using Polaroids on themselves.
And in hindsight, it was just a plot point.
Yeah.
Right,
But
right, exactly.
that was also
Yeah. Yes.
that was not that was a modern Polaroid as
Yeah,
something
yeah,
you'd like
true.
buy as a
Something new.
niche
Novelty,
little
yeah,
thing.
novelty,
yeah.
yeah.
You go to Urban Outfitters and buy that. Look at me, I'm buying
For
a
like
Polaroid.
$200.
Yeah.
Really?
You should really see Aries' new Polaroids. He's doing
Oh,
fantastic.
you know what? Because I was like, I have that camera. No, I don't have that camera. That's a modern camera. that was a camera designed to look like a 1950s camera.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And no, I didn't buy the 50s camera new. I found it at a
First day on the
Antique store.
market, he was there.
Yes, 1950s.
Yeah.
So I like up until the part where they would talk about cell phones, I figured it was kind of, a dated, timepiece. But
The house reminded me of the house from
not that they made any mention of
Revenge
that.
or whatever that movie was.
It
with the
did.
girl.
A lot
Yes,
of windows.
yes,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
had that
Right?
feeling,
Didn't it?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Especially the way they kind of walked around some of those
Yeah.
shots. Because that was a good movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say, way to remind us of a better movie.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. That was.
And kind of like how the opening and ending music was really reminiscent of like the Nora Orlandi and Bruno Nicolai scores from the Italian films. And it was
Really?
like, way to remind me of better music, of better movies.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what? That
'cause I
was
was
part
gonna
of what took me out of the modern thing was the music in the opening.
Yep.
I was like, this definitely could be an 80s.
Yeah,
A
I
movie.
actually thought it was one of those things where like, did they just like license another score? You know?
Yeah, well, that's another thing. I made a note of it that as the movie progressed and when things are starting to get to a certain point in tension, that the score really got fucking annoying. I was really annoyed with
I didn't
the
mind it
score.
because it was
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But
I
so it
didn't-
didn't. I could see how you'd say that though.
It was just a
Because I enjoyed the score. I think the score, the special effects, and the lighting and camera work were good. There we
the
go.
lighting was good. I'll give credit for the lighting. I thought the lighting was really good, especially when all the lights were cut out. I thought the lighting was done really well.
The timing of everything was done very well.
Yeah.
The special effects were done very well.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought the practical effects were pretty good as well.
Okay, are we into the spoiler part? yet?
No, we're not going to do spoilers. We're going to wrap it up. I did think so. Things at one point things escalated pretty quickly during Fruza Balk's scene, which I really enjoyed her scene. I thought there was a lot of nice tension.
She
And
was amazing in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, she was the best actor in the film. Yeah.
And
I think she
really
was the only actor
I
in the
really
film.
like that at all, like a lot.
There was even a point where she seemed sincere for a slight during that.
Yeah,
like,
you-
it's
you're
almost
almost-
like.
yeah.
I mean, you knew she wasn't, but there was enough where you're like, huh.
You didn't know. Yeah.
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 Wait, maybe is this a twist? Am I reading this wrong? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, but then when that happened, you're like, oh, I kind of was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, she was a red.
I
she was a
audibly
red
went,
herring.
oh.
Yeah.
She was a red herring.
and so but it did definitely, because once again we talked about this. I know Aries kind of forgot about stuff that happened in the beginning. As the film rolled on, but I was wondering if she was like a plant, like almost like, is she there to survey the scene and see what's going on, and then so there was. I thought it was cool, like
My thought that she was there to survey
Because of the phone call.
because of the
Yeah,
phone call
yeah,
and
yeah.
how she said that she had to go into another room.
yeah.
So
But she
to
was
see
even
if she
like,
could
"I'm
get better
here with my
reception.
4 new friends.
4 new friends, right,
Yeah.
right. Well, that's a fucking red flag. Once again,
Yeah.
someone's going to use your fucking phone. You be in the fucking room with them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
let 'em
yeah.
walk in
You
the
don't
fucking
let them out of your
study.
sight.
But I thought the tension there was great because I was waiting for something to happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, this film doesn't hide the fact that it is a fucking home invasion. The name is Trespassers. There's a dude with a fucking mask, with a bloody knife on the poster, and they show them in the beginning. So it's not hiding that at all. So I was waiting for that to happen, and I thought that was really cool because the tension was building and building, and I was like, shit, this is pretty good. This is good.
Right.
And then when there was some infighting amongst the crew, I thought that was even like heightened it up even more, even though I kind of hated these characters, and I know Josh had said that as well.
Yeah.
Like they just weren't likable, but that's fine. You don't, like in this case, in this scenario, you don't have to love these characters. But I just was liking where it was going, and then it got to a point when the cops showed up that, like, I love that first scene with the cops when they're all trying to get their story straight. That to me added to the tension,
Yes.
and I'm like, holy fuck! Like, how are they going to get out of this? And then when it took a turn, I was like, it kind of let the steam out for me.
Oh, it like immediately fell.
Oh, yeah.
apart
It's
when the
deflated.
kids
Like,
were there.
It followed the template to a T.
So I think they really, I thought there was some good stuff here, and I think that they built and built and built, and then for me, it just didn't work beyond that point. And I know it's gonna work for other people, and it sounds like, and I don't want to speak for you, Aries, but it sounded like it worked more for you than it did for me.
Oh, I think maybe because I know a little bit more about procedure with certain things.
Yeah.
That it was just like, no, you know what? Because I was more focused on, no, that's not right. That would not happen.
With the cops?
I'm trying not to spoil things, but yes.
Well, procedure, we said cop. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, there were just things that weren't right.
Yeah.
And I was picking up on that, and that was
And
that was bothering me.
And that I think we're getting to the same part where it's like that's where it's starting to fall apart.
Right.
And as soon as things became clear, it's like, oh, you fuckers, you got me. And it was
Yeah.
So it was just things like that. I mean, I guess if you're more aware of certain things, you become you bite more on different things.
And I will say, and we've talked about this before, it's your level of engagement. If you're not engaged in the film, if something is just not working for you, you're definitely going to be more nitpicky, and you're going to say, like, oh, like, it should have done this, or maybe it should have done this. But when you're along for the ride, and the director, the writer, and the actors are taking you on this ride, you are completely just on it for the ride, and you're enjoying what's happening no matter what. But when there's some things that just don't engage you, you definitely start to nitpick. And so, I mean, clearly this film did work for some and not for others. Now, Raven Shadow, I know you obviously, you probably haven't seen a ton of home invasion. You said you specifically don't necessarily care for the subgenre.
As a rule, I don't. I mean, I've seen, off the top of my head.
For lack of a better term, hit too close to home?
Well, no, I mean, maybe.
Or you just don't like them?
Maybe I don't like them. I mean, maybe it stems from an episode of Miami Vice back in the day I saw as a child, called The Home Invaders, when they I was playing G.I. Joes on my grandparents' couch, and it opened up with, like, people kicking in the fucking door, and I was scared. I'm like, where's Crockett and Tubbs? I don't know.
Okay.
And I don't like, like straw dogs and shit like that. You know what I mean? I don't like
straw dogs.
I mean, I don't want people being assaulted when they, I don't like that kind of shit. You know what I mean? I don't like that kind of revenge type flick. I know not all home invasions are like rape revenge movies, but that's kind of what I think of immediately. And that's not my milk. You know what I mean? I'm just not into that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I can see what Aries is saying though. Like, I like some of the twists. And I actually kind of forgot about some of that dialogue, and like I know they found something, but I might have been making dinner, so I wasn't really quite sure what they found.
What the fuck? You're making dinner while watching a movie?
I'm fucking diversifying, Johnny.
No. That's not paying attention.
You can make
it's
mac
not
and cheese and
diversifying.
watch a movie.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear the fucking whatever.
So you're in the other room, because I know you weren't watching.
Pour the
on
hot
your
water
fucking,
in your ramen cup
It's
and go
the
back.
kitchen and the living room. It's the same room.
Yes, you can't watch. How do you do that?
I'm fucking good, Johnny.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're not watching the movie.
You're actually the worst.
Ollie was filming it. But here's the thing.
Did Ollie tell you what happened?
Yeah. But he's like, he want to watch fucking John Wick 2.
Well, because that's the one where the dog doesn't die.
Yeah. He gets a new dog. They fucking kick everyone's ass. Is your dog a big John Wick fan?
Oh, Ollie's gonna.
She's seen at least the first one.
Thank you. Yeah.
Ollie's gonna love John Wick 3. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to that.
The third one's good.
There's some good dog action in that.
Is it really?
It's like a revenge of the fucking dogs.
Is it really?
Does he beat someone to death with a dog?
No. But the dog, there's two dogs that are fucking awesome. That's
Awesome.
all
I'm
I'll
gonna
say.
check that out. But like, here's the thing though. I like the fact that it was actually, so you had two couples, and the dudes were fairly like, good sized dudes who could probably handle
You
themselves.
can leave that down.
Yeah. Why?
What? Because it's blocking the air.
Whoa! So far it's fucking Arctic in here. With my coat on.
I can feel it.
My sweat is fucking freezing to my brow. But no, I mean like, so you have kind of skinny petite fruits of bulk, creating tension when you have two fairly good sized dudes and at least two other women. At least so that's a team right there. So I mean, anyone to come in would have to have more than them. So at least they're not.
But you felt the tension though.
That's
right?
what I'm saying. So I liked, so exactly. So even though, and the frustration as well, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We used to have internal couple shit, but at the same time, get this element out of your house too. You just can't have that. But so no, I was digging it. I'm pretty much on the same page when things started to fall apart. I thought it kind of defied some cliches by some folks' arrival, and then it kind of went down into the cliche rabbit hole. Is that fair to say?
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is fair. I'll give you that.
And I think it shows that Well, you didn't pay attention the whole time. You did let the entire movie play out on your TV.
Yeah. It was on.
That's because I could actually check on Plex.
Yeah.
I could check.
Oh, you can see who watches the
Uh-huh.
end? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ray Michelle's scared now.
You can
I
see
could
that look in
actually-
his eyes.
I could actually check if you watched the movie.
I did. You're gonna see a couple different things happening there. But yeah, no, I don't know. You want to skew Buster?
Yeah, I think so. Anyone else have anything before we do that? Nope. All right. Let's cue Buster.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. We're going to let you know whether Trespassers was a trick or a treat. Any final thoughts? Raven Shadow.
Like I said, I was along for the ride until it was time to get off.
That's how it usually goes.
Did you exit early? Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I finished to completion.
Oh.
I think
No, actually, you didn't.
Fuck you. Listen, I'll tell you about that. How? No.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Johnny. No. Yes, I did.
I was actually just referring to cooking while the movie was playing. But
Okay.
maybe I'll check Plex.
You can't fucking check this right now. Do it in front of Josh. Because there was even the she did like the line that was like the Pavlov's dog.
All right, so let's see. Oh, look at that. Josh has some plays.
Yeah.
Let's see. Play history.
Was that mine?
Everyone's fucking riveted. Yeah. Okay, so you did watch. I could see. You finished it the next day, you asshole.
Yes, I did. No, here's what happened.
I can tell.
No, I'm gonna tell you. No, full transparency.
Yeah, we're listening.
All right. Well, I thought you should take that.
You did the same thing with Dudes. You watched it over 2 days.
I did.
Oh my God!
I get a
What?
lot
I wish
going-
I didn't know about this.
Why? What's it?
I wish I didn't know that I could do this because now it.
It's like
Now you're going to
Pandora's
be
box.
doing it every week.
Now it's addicting.
I'd
What's
like
he
to
doing?
explain all my Debbie Does Dallas viewings.
Yeah, let me check Aries.
No, I did. Like literally, I fell asleep the previous night right before like the ending of it. So I did.
Right before the opening credits.
The opening credits, right? The guy had a cool outfit. He looked kind of like a friend of ours who plays music. Who's that guy?
You mean that guy with that skull
Who
face?
is that guy?
Yeah, do we have a friend that plays music with a skull mask?
I don't know.
On the Facebook, at least.
I see when Aries likes to watch his movies right after work.
Wait, at
4 o'clock. Yeah.
At noontime? Wait a minute.
No. Oh.
No, shit.
Oh no, the shirt and that the guy was wearing. I love that shirt. Anyone sees that shirt, buy that shirt for me.
What shirt?
The skull shirt.
Oh,
the Day of the Dead. Oh yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
The button up. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
was-
Anyone sees that, buy
I
it
would
for
wear
me.
that too, actually.
Yeah, that's a nice shirt.
Comes with matching mask.
You can have the mask. I just want the shirt. I don't want to hide this pretty face.
But no, I was overall I was into it, and then like I say, just kind of, yep, this is what these kind of things do. So I don't know. I'm not the expert in this genre known as the home invasion genre, but I would. You made me do.
Congratulations, you made MZ go.
Hey,
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
If I don't deserve to sigh listening to him, you know,
True. Fair enough. You can do that.
I think I've earned it. I think we've all earned it.
Well, I don't know. How about
Next.
barely a trick? It might be the.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Huh. What's the best answer, Josh?
Your answer is the best answer.
No, I'll say it's. I'm having fun with you. It's.
You funning us?
Yeah.
You're having fun. No one else is.
Yeah.
I'm not having a lot of fun. I'm kind of
All right.
hot. Barely a trick.
Okay. Josh.
That was my answer. No, so, like I said, I thought it looked good. I thought the music was interesting. I thought the special effects were very good. So I had some good kills. I don't think any of the actors were necessarily bad. I think it was just the material they were given, because I feel there were some issues in the script. And I'm going to say Trick.
Okay. MZ.
Yeah, this followed a lot of the blueprints of home invasion movies. It's very generic. Even the title is generic. You know, there's really nothing new here, and any twists and turns that you do come across in this movie, you've seen it before. So it's very bland movie. Yeah, I really wasn't into this at all. It just followed the blueprint step by step. This is a trick.
Step by step.
Ooh, baby, gonna get to
with you,
girl.
All right, Aries.
Yeah, this movie isn't breaking any ground. The acting, for the most part, was just very run-of-the-mill. Faruka Bach.
Yeah, Faruka Bach.
Faruka Bach.
The Klingon warrior that blew up the Enterprise.
Forgive me for mispronouncing the name. She played her part outstanding.
She was awesome, man.
I wish she was in it more.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, some of the, if you can distance yourself from the story and not try to overanalyze it and take some of the shock for what it is, the twists, you know, you can find some enjoyment in this. It's a short watch, which is always a good thing when the movie isn't like outstanding. So you know what, check it out because it is decent. The practical effects are very good. So yeah, this is a treat.
All right, and for me, I'm actually going to go Trick. This film I think it had a lot of promise, and I mostly really loved the first half. But there's just so much left on the table here that it's just hard for me to forgive it. And I really loved all this stuff up until the official invasion began, I guess. And it just, at that point, it was just deflating to me. I just felt like, oh, man, this movie, like, had some promise. It had some good tension being built. I liked some of the things they were doing. And I feel like it just was left on the table. And I don't know, like, it really bugged me. And I just think that this film, it had an opportunity to do so much more. And I think that it even had an opportunity, not that every film has to have a message, but I thought that this had an opportunity. It set it up really well. And I think that with some subversions could have done some really cool stuff, but it ended up being a little bit, as has been said by others, a little bit too tried and true to the subgenre. And I think that sort of like, not every film has to be a subversion of the subgenre, you know, because we do get a lot of that now when, you know, they take these tropes and then they turn them on their head and it becomes different and new and fresh. I don't want that in every single one, but I think this would have benefited from that. And I think that they left too much on the table. There was a lot of promise shown here, and I just feel that it just didn't deliver on that promise, and it just was like someone just fucking let the air out of it about the, you know, when the third act began. So for me, I'm going to go with the Trick. It's still, there are definitely some points to, you know, that have merit here. Like others have said, the movie looked good. You know, it had pretty decent practical effects. So they definitely had some good stuff going on. I will definitely be checking out the next film from Orson Oblowitz, but this one just didn't work for me totally. So I think it had promise, but just didn't live up. So for me, Trick. Now, next week, we actually don't have a movie picked because it's the 7-year anniversary. I'm going to leave it open because I want, if we get guests, I want them to be able to sort of help shape the way it's going to go. We will post on social media when we do know what's going to happen. So we may or may not even review a film next week. I don't know yet. So it's a little bit up in the air because I want to just keep it free. It's the last show here at Castle Wolfenstein. I want it to be a fucking party. So we'll have fun with it no matter what. We may do a film, but it's a little up in the air right now. So as soon as we know, we will let you guys know. But we do have we know what we're doing for the next few weeks after that. So that is planned, but next week is still a little open. So, well, that is going to do it for our discussion about Trespassers. And we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. And I know Raven Shadow and Josh really excited to talk about Dudes, the 1987 punk rock western from Penelope Spheris. So how long until we're back, MZ?
2 and 2.
Greetings! We are the Retro Reductopus Cephala Podcast, a bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
He's right. We wax philosophic about lots of geeky crap like old video games and movies, toys, cartoons. I don't know, help me out here.
Music. Pants. Quoting video games that don't have dialogues. Shabibers. Tasty news.
Unnecessarily long Japanese onomatopoeia.
Butt breathers. Uncomfortable nature facts.
Or how to install a thermoflange.
And unlike all those other podcasts, we at Retro Octopus have an exciting rotating host schedule.
Do we?
We sure do. So, if you didn't like the guy flapping his gums this week,
like me,
worry not, gentle listener. Next week we'll have a whole new host.
Of problems.
Hey, they might still suck, but they'll suck differently.
And you know what's really cool? Retro Reductopus is part of the Inebriard Podcast Network, with new episodes out every Tentacle Tuesday.
Which is like every other Tuesday. We named it.
Anyways, you can listen to us at iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, or straight from the tab, reductopus.buzzsprout.com.
Thank you guys for having me on. It's a blast. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
And, Trick or Treat Radio, man. That's where it's at. That's the new Fangoria Radio is Trick or Treat Radio.
No.
Don't say that.
Like, you really put us under.
It's like swearing in church. I don't know.
You just jinxed us.
Yeah. you put a lot on our shoulders just now.
Well, we can strive for greatness.
You guys are awesome. You really are. You got a great show.
Hello. This is the Sasquatch, a.k.a. Bigfoot, but you can just call me Frank. And when I'm not stomping around the woods throwing rocks at hunters, I like to listen to the Paranormal Punchers podcast. That's right, Paranormal Punchers. They talk about all things paranormal, and they're hilarious. Go find them on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and ParanormalPunchers.com.
I'm Alex West.
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
All right, we are back on Trick or Treat Radio.
Explanations for all those, and none is given.
And they're talking about the film.
We're still talking about Trespassers.
Talking about some of the spoilerific stuff we didn't talk about.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on to another film. I actually, fucking Raven Shadow.
You know what?
Jesus Christ! I wanted to set this up, and he's not here.
You know what? Fuck him. I like dudes more than he likes dudes.
Hey.
Oh. Did I just create a soundbite?
I think you did.
Oh, motherfucker.
It might be your first one, Aries.
Hey, so here's what I'm going to say. If you didn't like the last movie about young people from the city and the desert being attacked by murderous locals, you're going to love this movie about young people from the city and the desert being attacked by murderous locals.
That is true. It didn't even occur to me. You missed the soundbite of the century.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
No, you don't get to hear it. You missed it. Yeah. That's what happens when you smoke. You miss out on cool stuff.
Only partially at your expense.
Yeah, only partially.
Who was it from?
Aries.
Oh.
That's why it was a soundbite of the century.
Yeah.
He tried insulting you and insulted himself even.
It was good.
There you
go. Okay, so now Raven Shadow's here.
Yes.
Josh, I'm gonna lob this one up to you, and I want you to slam dunk. Let us know why we're talking about Dudes.
All right. Dudes is one of those films that I think the majority of us either in its entirety or unfortunately just in its last 15 minutes for MZ.
Yeah, he
Caught,
missed it.
On cable in the 80s or maybe found in the video store in the late 80s, early 90s. I've had this videotape for a while, and this has been the only way of seeing this movie for a very long time. And I don't know, something about it. I'm a fan of Penelope Spheeris' other films. There's something about this one just always stuck with me, and I've always brought it up to people to be like, oh, you got to see this movie. And most people have never heard of it. So that's why I think I brought it up here, maybe a year or so ago. And Raven Shadow got very excited.
Yeah.
Well, true, and I think actually it was one of a movie that Aries and I bonded over many years ago as well.
Well, the soundbite was,
Yeah.
he said, "I like dudes more than he does."
Ooh. Well, that's true. Aries is a guy who's been around a long time. He can,
he gets curious.
Yeah, he remembers Rome. Or Greece, wherever, I'm not sure.
Wherever he may roam.
Yeah, wherever he may roam. Ooh. When in Rome, Aries. See you in the bathhouse. No, it's fun. Everyone wears togas. But I don't even know how I got a copy. I mean, I had the VHS tape.
Yeah.
So it was weird. I don't know. Maybe it was the cover stood out to me as a kid. I mean, that's fucking cool. That's a fucking. I might look for this poster at Rock and Shock this year. And I dig John Cryer. And it's funny, I know him more from, he was in a movie called Hiding Out.
Oh yeah, with John Cryer. Hiding Out with John Cryer, yeah.
Maxwell Hauser. Maxwell Hauser.
Yeah. Where he plays another punk rock.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He played a lot of like punk rock and like new age characters.
Yeah. And even like in Superman 4 when he was the fucking...
he was a punker in that one too.
Yeah. Lenny Luthor. Like, whoa, I'm breakdancing. Fucking like spinning around.
Yeah. Fucking Lenny Luthor.
I forgot about that.
Oh, Christ.
But oddly enough, I haven't seen it yet, but he's playing Lex Luthor on the Supergirl TV show.
Really?
I did hear that,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So like I grew up with him more on those flicks than like the
You
John
grew up
Hughes
with John
stuff.
Cryer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Owes me $5. So, but yeah, this cover, man. I don't know if it was I was going through my Young Guns phase or whatever the fuck.
Oh,
but,
you're shit. Look at that. You're right.
But yeah, right.
Oh, damn.
Do you think he was lying?
He thought he was just wrong.
Yeah. But no, you get a fucking, on the cover at least, maybe the color's fading, but a pink Cadillac, a desert background. You have John Cryer and some pretty dope Western garb.
Slow down. Pink Cadillac with giant horns.
Yes.
It's true. It's not on the...
Oh, it's not on the...
Not on the...
blasphemy.
On the cover.
The horns make that Cadillac.
Oh, yeah,
It
totally.
does.
Yeah.
And
That's
then-
JBL type stuff right there.
And then his Mohawked friend who's not Chris Penn.
No, it's Daniel Roebuck from River's Edge.
Chris Penn.
See as in Roebuck.
You see River's Edge?
No.
Oh man, you gotta see that movie.
Wow, you never seen River's Edge?
You got some catching up. I'm sorry.
I'm a fucking asshole.
Yes.
You are an
Yes, you
asshole.
are.
Crispin Glover, dude.
Yeah.
Ooh. But also, too, in this movie, too, it was the first time I saw Flea. When I was much younger than you, Ayers. But and I'm like, who's this fucking weird guy? He seemed very weird to me. In it, so it just captivated me, and I have a huge thing for her, the beautiful, lovely.
Oh yes, it's Catherine
Mary Stewart.
Yeah.
From None of the Creeps.
Oh
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I was all in with this, and I just loved it as a kid. I must have been, if it was '87, maybe I was 13 or 14 when I saw it. However, I acquired it, but I really dug it. And then when Aries and I started hanging out, it came up, and you can speak on your backstory too, but you dug the flick with your punk rock background.
Oh yeah, because this movie, it had Flea in it and it had Lee Ving in it.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I completely forgot until I rewatched it.
Yeah.
How do you forget Lee Ving? Like,
well, no, I first saw him in Clue.
Yeah.
Before I was a Fear fan. You know, and then now I can tell you this upon the recent viewing. I can definitely appreciate the soundtrack a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, it's a great soundtrack.
Yeah, it's fucking dope.
Another interesting cast member. They don't say the names of a lot of Lee Ving's crew, but one of them's name is Sonny, and I think it might be the guy with the sideburns, and that's Mark Rude, the guy who did pretty much like a lot of the like Misfits art that isn't Pushead.
Oh.
RVD cover.
Yeah.
He's the guy who drew that.
Wow.
And he did like the Battalion of Saints record and a bunch of like early '80s like punk record covers.
Was he the guy in the rodeo?
Yeah, I think that might be him.
Sideburns and the glasses.
The one with the Elvis guy.
No,
not Elvis.
No.
Not Jared Elvis. The bad guy that had the sideburns that was selling drugs there.
Oh, him. Okay.
I'm not 100% if it's him, but I know he plays one of the bad guys named Sutton.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not 100%, but yeah, I think it's him.
Yeah. But so there's a lot of interesting little things.
Well, you know, I mean, you're making a movie like it's a punk rock movie.
Yeah.
And you got Flea and you got Lee Ving.
Yeah.
People are just gonna want to jump aboard on that.
Right.
Like let me have my piece of this little pie.
Yeah.
I mean that's why you got a very LA based punk rock band.
Yep.
To be the New York club band.
Right.
Like
right.
I mean,
the Vandals, right?
Yeah, the Vandals.
yeah,
I mean, they are very LA punk rock band. Like at the time, I didn't pick up on it because punk rock was punk rock. But watching it, I rewatched it this afternoon.
I think it also helps that they had a very appropriate song.
Oh yeah. No, that song was 100%. Like I thought that song was written for the movie at the time I watched this movie. But little did I know that it was just like, we'll just have this appropriate song of this LA-based band and throw them in New York.
Yeah.
Which at the time would be very unusual.
Right. I mean, I'm sure they were touring at the time, but still.
I mean, back then the punk rock scene there was the West Coast scene and there was an East Coast scene.
Right.
They didn't like. If you know punk rock, you can pick out those sounds.
Yeah.
So they didn't necessarily cross the mountains very often.
And I also wanted to piggyback a little because Raymond Shiner, you were talking about all of John Cryer's other interesting roles.
Yeah.
But I think, especially for purposes of this show, we also have to mention another film he made right around the same time of Morgan Stewart's Coming Home.
Oh yeah, with Attack of the Kill Tomatoes.
Yeah,
they
well,
made a point to see
that,
that.
his character is just like a huge horror nut. Like his whole room is all like horror posters.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And for some reason, that was one of the very first movies I rented on VHS. I think when I first, I don't even know why. I think probably because it was like, oh, that's the dude from Hiding Out.
Yeah.
I gotta see what he's up
that's
to next.
Natural Hauser.
Yeah, right, yeah. So yes, I fucking love that movie.
And it was because of that movie that made me want to watch Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's watch that fucking movie.
So I guess I'll jump into it, and I'll explain that.
Real quick before you do, Josh, I just want to call out.
Oh,
First time Mike says I had a crush on Catherine Mary Stewart back in the day, an underrated actress.
Oh, definitely.
And I knew she looked familiar to me. I didn't. Once again, I pulled a Raven shot. I didn't look it up on IMDb. Not that she's as recognizable as Fairuza Balk, but she was the love interest in The Last Starfighter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
and hopefully she'll be back.
And
for
also,
the
I see
sequel.
there now that it's Night of the Comet. I may have accidentally said Night of the Creeps
okay.
earlier.
Yeah.
And Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
And also The Apple from 1980.
Yeah.
So she's been a lot
canon,
of shit.
The
So
canon.
like this film is just chock full of like a great cast.
Yeah. And she also apparently she does a voice of a character in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Nice. And it even had that guy who always plays the drunk guy in the jail cell.
Oh, the jail cell,
Yeah.
What was his name?
Hezekiah?
Yeah.
He was in.
Ladies are dead?
He was in UHF.
That's
he was
it.
in UHF.
Spare some change.
And
Spare
he was
some
also
change,
he was
mister.
also in
Mister.
he was also in David Lee Roth's video.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're right.
David.
I enjoyed his
All done up
rendition
in
of
drag.
Mexican radio.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I hope Catherine Mary Stewart finds her way in the Last Starfighter sequel.
No, that's Vance Colvig Jr. is the guy who
Vance
plays
Colvig?
Hezekiah. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a hell of a name.
I know.
Who was the guy who's just like fucking the Mad Max motherfucker?
Oh, at the beginning?
Yeah, because he's great.
I don't know who he is, but his girlfriend, she definitely
Looked
popped
familiar.
up in a lot of 80s movies
She
as
loves
the
it.
pretty girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like your stereotypical punk chick back then.
No. I wouldn't. No, not punk chick. Just pretty girl.
Yeah.
That was very uncharacteristic for both those people to play punk rockers, and it showed.
Oh yeah.
All right. Go, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh no. Okay. So we'll just start off that. And so John Cryer, Daniel Roebuck, and Flea play three friends in New York City, and they're just kind of sick and tired of their life. Flea, they don't fully explain it, but he's got a cast on his leg, and he says, hey, I got, this money from this insurance settlement.
Yeah.
Let's just pile in the car and move to California. And that's pretty much it. Off they go.
I know.
California.
It was pretty simple. Like, was
Yeah.
it like John Cryer? Oh no, it was Biscuit didn't want to go. Right? Is that who?
No,
it was?
John.
No, Biscuit.
Biscuit.
He was like,
'cause
I
he
got a
had
job.
He had a job. Yeah.
You wash dishes.
You wash dishes.
at
Yeah.
Denny's.
I think you can afford the change. Yeah.
Yeah. And then John Cryer like almost fucking falls off the building later on.
Well, yeah, they go see a rock and roll show. They,
Yeah.
they go into a local, Asian restaurant.
That's punk rock, sir. I'm sure some punk rockers
that's
would
true,
like
yeah.
And you know what? Because of that was the reason I was afraid to stage dive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when he just fell in the
Because I was more along the lines of Biscuit than John Cryer. So I was like,
Imagine being
motherfucker,
in
I'm
the
not
crowd.
stage
You got
diving.
this guy jumping near you. God damn.
So the thing is, they get most of their way out. They're out in the western desert, and one night they're kind of set up camp, and along comes a group of, I guess you would say your stereotypical rednecks.
Yeah, and they were definitely wrong spot, wrong time.
Yeah. Led by the wonderfully intimidating Leaving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big ups for leaving.
Yep. And I mean, I guess it's not really spoiler because it's so soon in the film, but the rednecks kill Flea, and then it's kind of both a revenge film and I guess a weird kind of finding one's own identity film after that.
Yeah.
Spiritual quest.
Yes.
Vision quest.
But everything, everything happened very, economically.
Yeah.
Basically everything.
Yeah.
One thing led to
Sure.
another. And even down to helping Elvis on the highway.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you guys ever need a hand, look me up.
Yeah.
This definitely was a very 80s formulaic movie.
Right.
And
everything happened for a reason.
And I will say, yes, this film does rely heavily, maybe too heavily, on coincidence and happenstance.
Sure.
Because that area of the country is a very vast, area where, you can go a ways without really interacting with people. And the fact that they do keep repeatedly running into certain people.
Yeah. It's very convenient.
Well, you know what? I mean, you could definitely see how they were like, oh, shit, we need to find a reason why Elvis would help these guys.
Right.
Let's go back and film them pushing his
his
car out of the sand, but... oh, shit. How do we keep Flea out of this?
Yeah.
Oh, he's sleeping in the back. So, I mean, it was just very, voiceover, don't wake him up. It was just, oh, my God. It was so
Oh, that's
bad.
funny. That's funny. Yeah. He's like, why are we
stop it? Don't wake him up.
But I will say the inclusion of Daredelvis, that was fantastic. And apparently that was that guy's real shtick. If you look him up, he's got 50 or more credits, all as an Elvis impersonator.
Well, he looked like Elvis.
Yeah,
he really did.
I could have sworn I've seen him in other things.
Right.
Fucking Elvis. You saw him in Viva Las Vegas. I mean, Jesus Christ.
You can see him in a slice of toast, for Christ's sake.
Oh, he was in Alf.
Yeah.
Alf.
Oh. Even down. Also, that's where the bullfighting comes into play.
Oh, it's funny. He was actually in a TV series called The Next Best Thing. Who is the greatest celebrity impersonator? There you go.
He is.
What's his name?
Elvis.
His name is Pete Wilcox.
Pete Wilcox.
Yep, with 2 L's.
Ooh.
A.K.A. Daredelvis.
Yeah. Oh, he was in Full House.
Oh, man.
Oh,
MZ,
wow.
you must have
Hey,
seen him in
now.
that.
Oh, I think I remember that.
He played the man in Diner in the King and I episode. So obviously he played Elvis. He was.
Oh, okay.
He was Elvis in Cheers.
Yeah.
He was Elvis in Doctor. He was an Elvis impersonator in Wired. Yeah. So he's Elvis and Charles in Charge.
Yeah.
Aaron King in Alf. So clearly he was basically Elvis in everything.
Yeah.
Except for a movie called Doing Time where he played Melvin.
Probably
Melvin. Elvis impersonator.
Yeah.
Melvis.
He was in Sledgehammer. He was the third Elvis impersonator.
Yes, I know that episode.
Oh, man. You mean there were 2 better than him?
He was in Going Berserk. He was an Elvis lookalike #1 in that. He was Elvis number 4 in For the Love of It TV movie.
Shit.
He was in L.A. Law.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
As Larry.
No, he's actually Reverend Silva. That's
Reverend
so
Silva.
different.
So,
Valerie Leon Merton.
Yeah, I guess, and it's also worth noting that the John Cryer and Daniel Roebuck end up meeting Catherine Mary Stewart's character because she's the local tow truck operator.
Of course, yeah.
Well, when they meet her, she's just the gas station attendant.
The gas station attendant, yes.
Once again, very convenient.
Yes, but she ends up helping them out, supplying them with a vehicle, teaching John Cryer how to fire a gun.
She happens to know and possess everything they need to complete their task.
But I love that Biscuit, like, he just has this fucking dream.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he goes on a spirit
journey.
While they're off fucking in the woods.
And all
He
of a
wakes
sudden,
up and-
he is a fucking tracker.
Yeah. Now he's got a fucking bow and arrow.
And he's a fucking pro with a bow and arrow.
He's like, we am lost.
Well, okay, so here's the first time I'll reference this. You may have noticed I brought a book with me.
Ooh.
And this is Cashiers du Cinéma, issue 18, put out by Mike White from the projection booth.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually wrote kind of essay review of dudes in this issue.
Nice.
Oh, really?
Back. Yep. And I did actually make a note in here, is that Grant finds his strength in the guise of a spirit cowboy, while Biscuit taps into some completely unexplained Native American connection, which and they get help from a local tow truck driver. And it's true because you can at least see the progression of John Cryer's getting in touch with this cowboy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder.
But Biscuit, on the other hand,
like Biscuit, literally,
boom.
Like he gets in a fight so that he's kind of like groggy, and then he goes to bed and has a dream that he's a Native American.
Yeah.
And then he can instantly shoot a bow and arrow and track people.
Because he almost got scalped.
It's like he just came from the Matrix or something.
Yeah.
It just downloaded into his brain.
He's like, whoa, I'm an engine.
And don't forget we kind of went past it, but the obvious clearly signs of a robbery and a murder happened, but the local cops, can't see past. Them being punk
Well, we
rock.
don't have a body.
Yeah.
It was just that overly biased towards the punk rockers.
Right.
Throughout this whole movie.
Yeah.
You look different, fuck you.
Yeah.
Cops disregarding them. They're getting the shit kicked out of them as soon as they walk into a diner.
I mean, which plays into the theme though, like that. They're different. They're outsiders. They're and at the time, punk rock was I don't remember. I mean, in 1987,
it was definitely a much.
it was counterculture.
Yes, it was a far less mainstream thing. It was not the norm to see people with mohawks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
Now, I mean,
But at that
granted,
time,
you
it
would
was
get-
also kind of dying out, wasn't it? Around 87.
Well, the whole 70s punk rock scene had died and was on a resurgence.
Yeah.
At that point. Now, granted, getting disrespect from a police officer would not be that uncommon. But getting punched as soon as you walked into a diner, that was just
great.
like, what the fuck diner are they walking into?
Well, first of all, the girl did say, don't go in
don't
there.
go in there.
Yeah.
But still, I mean,
They were warned.
I've had some extreme looks in my life, and I've traveled, I've never been out in that part of the country, but I've been in different parts of the country. Never have I been decked as soon as I walked into an establishment.
And meanwhile, this is the
Well,
local
because
joint.
people are smart.
And they destroy the whole joint. This is like the way they eat. How many other foods restaurants
Oh yeah,
are in
and
this
everyone
area?
if you got bumped, oh motherfucker, you touched me. That's it. I'm laying your ass out.
Oh, the one thing I noticed. So one thing I noticed about that fight scene, they were all fighting the punk rockers. There were some different ethnic people in that bar. So everyone in that area teamed up against the punk rockers.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe that is kind
And
of.
they dragged him down the length of the bar.
Yeah, and I love how you could tell the difference between the natural audio in that bar and the post-production audio. I mean, it's like fucking night and day.
But I mean, all this stuff said, like it is, everything is very convenient. This movie is fucking awesome, right? Like, I mean,
oh, this movie's amazing.
Yeah,
I mean, I will trash this movie all day long, but I love this movie.
Yeah. Criterion, you got to get on this, man.
Steelbook.
So pretty much,
Steelbook is not a company.
Long story short, because how the movie's from the 80s, I don't think we can get too spoilery and people will get
Oh,
mad.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Fuck you if you haven't
No.
seen it.
But so in the end, Grant and Biscuit are actually able to track down most, if not all, members of the gang, and culminating in the gang's leader, Missoula, who's played by Lee Ving.
Yep.
And there's kind of a great series of scenes, starting in that small town bar, with where they ask Grant, which one of us is uglier.
I love that
That
scene.
was such a great scene.
Yeah.
That was so good.
How ugly am I, boy?
Yeah.
Butt ugly.
But I think that scene, escalates into a series of different confrontations in different
Yeah.
locations that works wonderfully.
I mean, it helps to understand his motivation at that point.
Yes.
Where it's just like, without that, you'd be like, you know what? Most people would just be like, fuck you. You tried to kill me. I'm done with you. Like, it helped you understand that it's just like he has that
drive.
That drive
Yes.
to, you know what? You tried to kill me. I'm killing you. I don't give a fuck what it costs me.
Yeah.
If I go to jail for the rest of my life, you're dying.
But the cool thing is, and obviously killing people is not really cool, but it's the point of it, of like they were treated differently because they were outsiders or they were punks. And like it's about sort of getting back and like standing up for yourself. Like that's sort of the point for me anyways. That's how I took it. So, despite the fact that he's killing someone, like I thought it was a nice character arc,
Yeah.
I mean, these are bad people too, though. I mean,
Oh,
they were,
yeah. Sure,
they
sure.
were. I mean, they mentioned obviously
They're real bad people.
It was the first time they were kind of bragging about it. It was the first time they killed a white person.
Oh yeah.
So obviously
Right.
they had done that to other people.
And they were
differences.
definitely they were sort of like making fun of people of minority people, I guess.
They killed cops.
Yeah.
You
Right,
could do
right.
that in the 80s. That was like they stormed the fucking police station.
I gotta say, I'm not really a big one for reboots and remakes.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just gonna say it here. I think Jeremy Saulnier needs to get on
Oh,
a
yeah.
serious remake of this film.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm on board.
Cast that. Right now.
Yeah. Who would you?
Cast that.
it.
Biscuit. Who would you pick for Biscuit?
I don't know, but I think we could still get John Cryer and do that.
It wouldn't be a bad choice.
How about this?
To
How about
play
this?
that
Just
part though.
the same cast.
Same cast?
The same cast.
It's a sequel then.
Yeah.
Dudes too.
Still dudes.
Electric
Still-
Boogaloo.
still
dude.
dudin'.
Still
Still
doing
dudes.
it.
Doing it again. Flea can be a ghost. Like he was a ghost. He was a ghost on
at the end.
horseback.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Hey guys."
Come on, most of the cast is still with us.
Yeah.
I think we can do
Penelope Spheris still
Yeah.
with us.
Yep.
Although I guess Jeremy Saulnier would probably be a good choice.
I mean, you could have Flea as an apparition. You can have Lee Ving as an apparition, probably.
Yeah.
I always thought he died a long time ago. Lee Ving. I guess not.
No, he's still
No, he's still
Yeah.
touring.
Yeah.
As Fear with Fear.
Yeah.
With Fair. Oh,
Really?
yeah.
I want to go.
Wow.
I mean, he's old as fuck now. But
Now, another
Well,
thing
let's
too,
see,
I
he's-
wanna mention is we all watched the VHS rip.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if you are a fan of this movie and are one for like renting, like streaming, the rentable version on Amazon is actually like a 1.85 like Blu-ray quality transfer. Like not the square like pan and
Yeah,
scan.
because we
Now like a month ago that was just available as Prime and I watched it and that's why I was like we got to get on this.
Yeah, because I looked for it on Prime and it wasn't. You had to purchase it. So,
But you know what? I mean, we've become so spoiled. It's really nice to see 1:33:1 aspect ratio again.
I mean,
There's something about it that I
okay,
just
but
really
the fact
enjoy.
that just a month ago I got to see these vistas in widescreen. That's the other thing is like this movie's shot by the same guy that shot like Platoon and Django Unchained.
Jesus.
I love
That's crazy.
I love the version we watched. Like,
Yeah.
It
brings you back, right?
It almost looked like someone was holding an old school VHS camera up to a TV to film this thing. Like it had the warning and everything. I love that.
But it really, I mean, the picture quality is really, really poor because I mean, you got those really nice, bright, sunny days, but you can see this. It's really dark and everything like that, so it gives off that blackish orange glow. It's really like kind of surreal to look at. But I enjoyed the hell out of this. And this is my first. This is my first time actually watching the whole thing.
You hadn't seen it, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone else had seen it, obviously. So yeah, it's interesting to get that perspective, though. I hadn't seen it in, I don't know. Like I was trying to before the show record. We started doing the show when Josh was here. I was trying to think of the last time I saw it, and I want to say it was like I caught it. It must have been HBO because that's where I watched most of my movies back in the day. So it must have been around 88 or 89 when it might have been on there if it came out in 87. So, yeah, I think I caught this on HBO because I remember seeing it, and I think I caught, like, some of it, and then I wanted to watch the whole thing. And I might have rewatched it again when I worked at the video store in the late 90s, but, yeah, I haven't seen it since then. So it's really good to revisit it. And it is fun. I mean, it's a fun movie, you know, like we talked about the convenient plot points, but you know what? Like, it didn't really matter. Like, I don't know. Like, in this case, like, this is just such a cool movie where it hits everything right. That, and especially for the 80s, like, everything was just convenient. You know, like, I think you have to do a little bit more now, because you can't rely on that sort of thing as easily. I think you can here and there, but in this case, this is kind of like it's not a super serious movie. There's some serious stuff that happens in it, but there's also some good comedy bits, and there's some, so it's just kind of like it just has that 80s feel to it. So for me, that certainly didn't take away from it. And granted, I knew what was going to happen, so maybe that's kind of part of it. Is I didn't remember all the nuances, but I remember the general gist of it. So I think that certainly had an impact. If I was watching it for the first time, MZ watched it for the first time, did you think the convenient plot took away from it at all?
No.
No.
No, because I mean, movies were just meant to entertain you back then. They didn't rely on over characterization and adding
subtext.
and yeah, exactly, and subtext and adding layers upon layers upon layers of ideas to characters and storylines just to pad out a 2.5 hour running time. It's a simple story. It's a simple script. I mean, that's how movies were back then. It was just two guys on an adventure, a road movie. And it hit all the right marks. It hit, for the most part, I would imagine it hit its target audience.
Actually,
I'll say.
It did not.
Oh,
No?
well, I mean, on home video, I guess.
Yeah. This is a cult movie.
Yeah, for sure.
So this was a huge flop, but this is also interesting to look at in the process of Penelope Spears' career.
Yeah.
Because so she had Decline of the Western Civilization and Suburbia and stuff, right? So she did this in 87. Also, 87, 88 is when Decline 2 came out.
Yep.
She did some music videos and some stuff for TV.
Yep.
But her next feature film after this, Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Like, Wayne's World was like 3 years after this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another movie.
I
another
hadn't
movie
thought of
about,
that.
Yeah.
It is crazy because
Another movie about two guys.
Yeah. But now you can kind of see where it's like coming from like the more rough and tumble like Suburbia and stuff. But
Interesting.
then,
You can definitely
because
see
it
the
uses that
progression.
punk rock.
Yeah.
No, because Dudes uses that punk rock background, while Wayne's World uses that
rock and roll,
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
But
And
you know what?
music was a big part of a lot of what she did, obviously,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the Decline of Western Civilization, the original one, obviously featured a lot of fear and leaving. I actually haven't seen it.
It's a documentary, right?
Yeah, I never saw the first one. I watched the second one, the metal years, because I was into metal in the 80s. So I love the documentary.
Well, look at look at this. All right, so let's see. She did Hollywood Vice Squad in 86.
Nice.
Let's see, The Boys Next Door in 85. She did the Megadeth video Wake Up Dead in 87. Then Dudes. Then Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, 1988. Night Ranger, I
Yes.
did it for Love music video. Then Megadeth.
2 more Megadeth videos. Yeah.
Thunder and Mud. I don't know what that is.
It's a doc.
Is it? Oh. What is it, like women's mud wrestling? That's what it looks like.
It's an entertaining combination of heavy metal rockers and female mud wrestlers.
Okay.
Hosted by Jessica Hahn.
Nice. Let's see. Megadeth, No More Mr. Nice Guy.
Yeah, we said those. Come on, get on with it.
Megadeth.
We don't have to name everything. Josh said she did a bunch of videos.
Yeah.
We need to talk about all of them.
Megadeth.
Videos and TV specials.
Yes.
I mean, well, part of the problem with this movie is how do you market this?
Right.
What is this?
Yeah.
I mean, this.
Like
we
Yeah,
love
there's
this
a
movie,
lot in this.
but this isn't an easy marketed movie.
You know what this is a great example of? You know how everybody says, like, you can't make a cult film. A movie just has to become a cult film?
Right.
Yeah.
This is actually probably one of the only examples where somebody made a cult film.
But what did she try to do that?
I don't know if she tried, but it was definitely a movie that was made with no mainstream audience in mind.
Yeah. Well, I will 100% agree with you because it's obvious because I don't think she thought of the market. Like she just made the movie,
Right.
And then like was an afterthought. Oh
Yeah.
crap! We gotta market this. How do you market this?
Is it a comedy? Is it a drama?
Yeah.
Action?
So that's why I'm saying like this may have actually been like one of the only examples of somebody just making a cult movie, you know?
I would see this. I mean, first and foremost, I would see this as a comedy.
It
I don't know. I wouldn't though.
I would.
This is more of an adventure.
Yeah, it's a road movie.
I would pitch it. I would pick it up as a comedy first.
What in this movie made you laugh out loud?
So it's listed.
When Flea got shot.
Jesus. I know IMDb doesn't always have the best, like genres, but it's listed as an adventure comedy. So I'm with Aries. Like a road movie is definitely an adventure.
Yeah. This. I mean, I would actually agree with that. It's an adventure comedy.
Yeah.
Well, Devil's Rejects is
Action comedy.
is a road movie. You wouldn't call that adventure.
No, Jesus.
You'd call that horror.
No, but it's first and foremost a horror.
But it's funny though. He did Pretty in Pink in '86.
John Cryer. We're talking about.
And then Superman '87. This was '87.
Yeah.
So when was like Hiding Out?
Hit all filmography and acting.
Okay.
Because you're just looking at highlights.
Yeah.
Oh God. We're
Now
trying,
hit
to
actor.
we're trying to teach him how to use IMDb right now.
Click on actor.
Thank you. You know what? He's helping and not yelling.
Yeah.
You see the difference?
So
No.
Now if you scroll all the way down, because it's listing the newest first.
Look at fucking that. Thank you, Josh.
What's more entertaining?
Well, you know what?
Me yelling at you.
Josh,
you gotta understand. You
Yeah.
gotta understand. We deal with this every
But
goddamn
can
week.
you tell that my day job is I work with people with developmental
Oh,
disabilities?
yeah, no. I see that. But you understand, there's at least 3 people listening right now that tune in just to hear me yell at these guys.
Buy a man a fish, he can eat that day. Teach a man to fish, he can fucking...
Fall in a lake and drown.
Yeah.
You beat a man with a fish, it's far more entertaining.
Thank you, Josh.
So I know in the discussion of genre, I'm referencing what I had written before, and I had referred to this as a metaphysical punk revenge western road movie.
Thank you.
I like that description.
It works.
Metaphysical punk revenge road movie.
Western road
West-
movie.
yeah.
Western movie.
But in '87 alone, he did Morgan Stewart's Coming Home,
Yeah.
Superman 4, Quest for Peace,
Lenny.
Dudes, and that's pretty fucking good.
You do realize that he's going to, pay the bills, right?
Well, yeah, I mean...
And he didn't make all those in '87. That's just when they all
Yeah,
came
that's
out.
getting released.
Right.
He could have shot one of those in '85 and 2 of them in '86.
Not fair.
And one in 88, because he's that good.
It's good that, yes.
But it's so funny how they pegged him to be like the quintessential
I think it started out with
punk
he
guy
was like the
in the
new
80s.
wave guy, and then it kind of morphed.
Yeah, because
a
he was
little bit
he was
back.
Ducky.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, back then, if you were new wave, you were punk rock.
Right.
Well, who-
right.
Well, that's different. No, it isn't. It's the same thing.
Who didn't love
New
Ducky?
wave was just like the mainstream acceptable version of punk rock.
Not a punk rock band, we're a new wave band.
Yeah. We got a prune for adults.
So let me see. I wanted to read one thing here. This is just from the Wikipedia. Dudes was initially scheduled for a theatrical release in April '87, but this date was pushed back multiple times. It was screened at the '87 TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival, that September. The Vista organization struggled to find a film distributor willing to give the film a wide theatrical release. So this is from Tejada Flores, who I guess was one of the financiers or part of the Vista organization, says, "We were a small indie company. We had money to make indie films, and we co-financed a distribution company, but we didn't have the clout and the budget that the bigger distribution companies had. Feeling that the larger distributors viewed Dudes as too strange and too dissimilar to mainstream flicks to pick it up." And then he says, "We wound up with a movie that was both true to and exceeded the multiple genres of the script. And the script wasn't one thing or another. It's a punk rock western. Well, what does that mean? It's a modern western. What does that mean? It also has supernatural elements, but it's got punk rock. It's got a bunch of rock and roll. It's got a human story. It's got comedy. It's got romance. So which one do we sell it as?" So I can certainly see that. Spheris, Penelope Spheris says, upon reflection, "When we were looking to get it released, the distributors just didn't get it. You know, punk rock was born in the late 70s, and then by the time we got to 86 and 87, it was still around, but I started integrating some metal in the film, you know? So distributors, they still didn't know about punk rock. They were like, punk rock? Oh, no. Heavy metal? No. So we had 2 strikes there. Flea agreed with this. It has punk rock in it. It has the Vandals, but it's not a punk rock movie. And then it has this sort of Western thing, this cowboy thing, but it's not a Western movie. And it had this kind of metal element, too, but it's not a metal movie. Culturally, it doesn't really sit in a perfect place for people to pigeonhole. Although Jansen's script was written as dramatic, action-filled punk Western and not a comedy film, Spheris felt that her comedic instincts, as well as Cryer's influenced the tone of the finished film. Cryer later viewed Dudes as a bridge between Spheris' prior dramatic films, Suburbia and The Boys Next Door, and her later success with the hit Wayne's World.
There you go.
So,
man, I'm confused.
What is this movie?
But then it's weird, though. I once again, maybe I did see it on HBO first and then came across the VHS. 'Cause that sounds about right, but it spoke to at least 4 of us who saw it, you know what I mean, around, similar or comparable
around the same
age.
time.
You know what I mean? Like, so, I don't know. Is the target audience 12 to 14-year-old boys?
You know what it is?
Or 40-year-old men.
right.
You know what it is I actually think, see, the movie at that time was probably trying to target people that were a little bit older than us. Right?
Okay.
It is R. So
at the time, you mean?
Yes,
so maybe
at
20s?
At the time, yeah. But I think the reason that we gravitated to it and that probably more people of our age group gravitate towards it is because we kind of came up in a time where we were exposed to punk and metal and this kind of mix of different, because we were the first cable and VHS generation.
Okay.
So we were one of the first groups of people that kind of started consuming a lot of different types of things.
Okay.
More than just what was on the regular 4 channels. You know what I mean?
Fair. All right. Yeah. All right.
So I think that might play into it. Is that like we were a generation that was able to pick out Western themes, along with road movie or revenge film themes and comedy things, and go, oh, I like this punk stuff, but I also like this modern metal stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I can 100% see why I love this movie.
Yes.
You put Flea and Leaving in a movie,
yep,
and I'm watching that movie.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't care what it is, I'm watching that movie. You make that movie an escapism movie where they're leaving their home and traveling to L.A., a dream I had when I was a teenager.
There you go.
Not an uncommon dream.
Yeah.
And then you add the Western aspect of it, where growing up, I watched Westerns with my father and my grandfather. So this movie just encompassed so much of my youth.
Sure.
Like this, I might as well have been Biscuit in this movie. And yes, I am picking biscuit because of my size.
It's not too late.
Put the biscuit in the basket, Larry's.
I mean, that's 100% why I love this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, for all its flaws, I love this movie. And I will love this movie to the end of time. I was so excited that we were watching this movie on this podcast. I get to talk about a movie that I've loved for my entire life. Go ahead, check. I got a stiffy.
Should we just end the show right now, Aries? Is this it?
I challenge you to do better than this.
That's fair.
See, usually I pick movies that bum everybody out.
No, you've hit this so on the mark.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm not saying this is the all-time greatest movie ever made.
No,
this isn't my favorite movie.
But it's
this
like it was made for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my movie.
Yeah.
Like when I discovered this movie, it was just like, oh my God. And up until I started talking to Raven Shadow about this movie, no one knew about this movie.
Right.
In my, because dude, you never saw Dudes?
Yeah.
Right.
How did you never see Dudes? Like I get mad at people.
And I'll agree. Yeah, by far not the greatest movie, not a perfect movie, but you know what? The perfect rainy Sunday afternoon movie.
And just watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's watch Dudes.
That's the thing. I was watching it this afternoon, and my wife came home, and she's like, what are you watching? I'm like, Dudes. And she looked at me, and I'm like, it's got a fling in it. She goes, you made me watch that. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
when we were dating, I made her watch it. I'm like, you never saw Dudes? We're watching Dudes.
That's amazing.
And I popped the VHS in.
My VHS tape.
You gave me that VHS tape.
Now you
bring that up again.
You have your own.
With that tape.
Yep. Everybody stop. That tape is now Aries's because this tape is.
You have your own.
Thank you, Josh. This is going to go in the new studio, whatever the name that's going to be.
Yep.
In the East Coast compound.
Yeah. So this will be sitting in the dead letter department, and it'll never get mailed anywhere.
A dead letter department.
You should have just put a stamp on it.
Self-addressed.
I could arrange that.
No, you can't. One last thing I want to read, and we'll wrap this up. So apparently, I actually didn't know this, but in 2017, Dudes was released on DVD and Blu-ray by Shout Factory under their Shout Select imprint. The original film print given a 2K resolution transfer to the more modern digital formats.
So that's the version that's on Amazon.
Yeah, let me look it up. I want to see.
But that's kind of sad that we're the target audience for this movie, and none of us knew it was available on home video.
right?
You know what? I got no interest in seeing that version.
Oh, here it is. Yeah,
I am
Holy
100%
shit.
happy watching the VHS quality version of this movie.
I gotta say though, I watched this version. It was a revelation.
Oh, it was great. But you know what? And even the DVD art, I guess, that was with this version we watched, I hate it.
Oh, the cactus
So
one?
fucking
Cactus
bad.
one.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Hated that one.
That was the theatrical poster.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't
with
like it either.
with the cactus and the two guys
Yeah.
wearing the 18 and board shirt.
Yeah, that was the theatrical poster.
That's stupid.
And you know what? I loved that shirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because of that shirt, I can remember I saw this movie before I was 18. Because I remember thinking, when I'm 18, I'm getting that shirt. I never did get that shirt.
I'm looking up on eBay on Dude's one-sheet posters, and they do have them.
Yeah, see, and it's that design.
That's so
Yep.
bad.
Yeah.
That is
I
so
hate that.
bad. I mean, how fucking...
Also, yeah. There was some other versions.
Or even this one. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys see that one.
I
Yeah.
saw that on IMDb.
Yep.
John Cryer's head looks a little fucking weird. That's a painting, right? That's not
Yeah.
a...
Yeah, it's a
like
VHS
a
cover,
little
like an
odd.
old VHS
Dudes,
cover.
Flea, John Cryer, Rare, original soundtrack radio promo poster ad.
How do you have a
So-
radio poster?
So this is available
Hang it
from.
up over there.
It's available
Let's
from
cook it.
Shout Select, and it is in stock for $20 on the Blu-ray. I just added it to the Trick or Treat Radio store. If you guys want to
I'm
head
gonna
over
be
there.
getting this movie now, this Blu-ray now.
But even that is nice, though. But this is just...
oh yeah, no, that's a classic.
This is the poster, man. That's
If
the
you're
one.
lucky, maybe
This
they
one,
got that
this
one.
one's not bad. This
It's
one
good.
Here.
Yeah.
For Blu-ray, it's not bad, but
Cleaned
yeah.
up a little
Oh,
bit.
is that
but
without
like,
the car?
That-
I can't
yeah,
really see
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
without the car, and it's got the skull with the horns. That's actually the cover of the soundtrack album.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So it's a collector's edition, and so apparently in it so this was for the 30th anniversary release. Spheris conducted interviews with Cryer, Roebuck, and Flea, reflecting on the making of the film. Separate interviews with Stewart and with the writer Jansen and Tejada Flores were also included during the lead up to the release. It was also screened at the Hammer Museum. I guess there was like a Lifetime Achievement Award for Penelope Spheris. So it played at a festival there, this version of it anyways, I guess. So So pretty cool. You know, like obviously it at the time it was hard for it to find its its target audience.
Yeah.
But now, like, definitely this would be considered a cult film.
Oh, sure. Yes.
And like it was our kind of film. Like, we're the audience, So I think it's pretty cool. Do you guys want to do? I think it's pretty obvious, but do you guys want to do the verdict on this one?
Treat,
just to make it official.
Yeah, treat.
Does anyone not think it's a
Yeah,
treat?
fucking treat, man. Fucking treat.
Yeah, it's a treat.
It's fun, and it without. I mean, I don't know how someone 25 or what might not my view of this, but
25 now.
Yeah, 25 now, exactly. Not like a teenager, but even someone in their early 30s. But this held up better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
And there were some really cool shots, and it did kind of make. Not all the time, but John Cryer was kind of a badass at times in this.
At times, yeah, for sure. Like, I love that scene when the ugly, who's uglier, and then he totally has all the confidence, and then he goes outside and like,
and he's like,
against the wall. And
I love that. It just shows a lot of depth to the character. I loved it.
But even him getting pulled out with the cop or the sheriff, and
you saw that look of panic in his eyes, and then it went away.
It's that one. That's
right.
That square panel.
The cop grabbed him, threw him against the car. You saw the panic, and then all of a sudden, the real and then you just saw the anger.
The anger.
Back.
Yeah.
That was great. Like some of the acting in this for this movie was brilliant.
Exactly, and I fucking loved it, and I want action figures.
Dude's action figures.
Todd McFarlane, pick up.
Come on,
and
Funko
I
Pop,
am
get on it.
definitely very happy that in recent years, the Penelope Spheris filmography has kind of been getting reevaluated and a lot of things. Because there's now a box set of all the Decline of the Western Civilization films.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, she hasn't really she's done a lot of children's movies. Hey, if you can get work, that's cool.
Yeah.
But she's done the Real Saint Nick, The Kid and I. She's done a few other things like that. But and she hasn't worked since 2012, so I don't know if she's done or not. But she had a pretty cool little career for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Some really interesting stuff that she did. Oh, she did Black Sheep. Okay, I didn't know she did that. Okay.
Oh, with Spade.
Yeah, Spade in Farley.
Oh, pretty good fucking run. I mean, if that's your career, it's not fucking bad.
Little Rascals, Beverly Hillbillies.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, so she had a good, definitely a good run, and it's interesting to see. Especially that early on from Decline of Western Civilization, Boys Next Door, Suburbia, Hollywood Vice Squad, and then Dudes, and then Wayne's World. It's a really interesting filmography.
That's a run right there.
Yeah.
Well, Wayne's World was where she was one of the elite directors.
And in a kind of interesting coincidence, since this film features John Cryer. Most people nowadays know John Cryer from 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And her earlier film, The Boys Next Door, starred Charlie Sheen as a high school senior sociopath, burgeoning serial killer.
Which is ironic because then a few years after that, both Cryer and Sheen were in the Hot Shots movies.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Interesting.
So imagine I would watch 2.5 Men if they were both fucking psychos, and one was a punk rock western dude, and the other one was a fucking psycho killer. I would watch the show.
If you knew nothing about 2.5 Men and you just knew that from her movies, you were like, "Oh, this is gonna be the greatest sitcom ever."
Oh my god! When fucking Charlie Sheen flipped out, they should have got Biscuit to join the fucking cast. That'd be outrageous.
Yeah,
with
Biscuit could be the half man.
Yeah,
half man.
That's a fucking show. You guys dropped the ball with fucking what's his name? Fucking.
And you know what? I also got to give a shout out. Not that I personally know him or anything like that, but Daniel Roebuck is one of the friendliest celebrities I've ever met.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I met him at a Halloween convention out in Pasadena years ago. I think it was the Halloween 30th anniversary convention or maybe 35th.
Nice.
Here's the thing. So I met him briefly at his signing, and we spoke for a minute, and then the next night my wife and I were in LA at the Big Boy, and he was there, and he came over, and he was like, "Hey, how are you guys doing? Are you enjoying your stay?" Like,
oh wow,
that's awesome. What a guy! What a dude!
Do you want more coffee?
Yeah,
Hey,
but
Biscuit, what's up?
But so
Hey,
it's just
Biscuit,
like
what's
you know,
up?
that was like completely. He didn't have to do that, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, he's like genuinely like a super nice dude.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, he completely blew my mind, like, realizing who he was later on in his career, because he looks completely different, because obviously no mohawk.
Right.
You know, and, like, the first time I remember seeing him somewhere else was The Fugitive.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, he's in that.
Yeah.
Now, at the time I saw that, IMDb wasn't a thing, so I just was left going, I know that guy. Who is that guy?
That looks familiar.
And then, like, years later, watching it again, going, I'm looking him up. And it was like, holy shit, it's the guy from Dudes. Like,
Yeah, the guy
that
with
was
the
an
fucking-
FBI
yeah,
agent.
No
like,
shit. So let me ask something. Was the mohawk real?
I would assume so.
No.
Why wouldn't it be real?
Well, I don't know. It's a big fucking mohawk. Yeah, that dude. No
Yeah.
shit. That's Biscuit.
Yeah.
Oh shit! He was in Phantasm Ravager.
Yep.
We saw that, and I don't. Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't remember.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to forget.
Yeah. Yeah, there he is in River's
No
Edge.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you gotta see River's Edge, man.
Yeah, River's Edge is fantastic.
Yeah.
I know. I've heard of it, but I've not seen it.
It's also one of
great
Keanu
cast.
Reeves' first films.
Yeah, great cast.
So you can see like the origins of John Wick.
Okay. Oh, and that kid too. The kid who was the Dracula in.
Yeah, in Near Dark.
Near Dark.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at him when he was in Matlock. Holy crap!
Oh, yeah. Okay. Wow.
See Chris
Yeah.
McGlover there.
Oh,
and
shit.
Keanu.
Doesn't look anything like him. Looks like he lost a shit ton of weight too.
But yeah, so he's. I just wanted to say, you know, he's you know a super nice guy, and you know, he was a pleasure to meet.
Oh, awesome.
That's
So-
awesome.
I could totally see it now. Like I haven't seen many of these. I'm looking through his IMDb photos.
Yeah.
I haven't seen many of the things that he's been in, but yeah, like I could totally see it in his face. That's funny. Oh man. So all right, well that's gonna do it for Dudes. Let me just chat room. First time Mike says, "God, I have not seen Dudes in decades," and he says, "Dudes is almost a fever dream of a movie." Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. So, well, there you have it. Our discussion about Dudes. If you guys have not seen it, check it out. Like we said, we were surprised to find out that it's actually on Blu-ray, and also it is available on Amazon. You have to pay. It's Amazon VOD. It's not on Prime anymore, but you know, but you can check it out.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're gonna start to wind things down. We do have one voicemail. It's a bit long, as he told me, but he said he can break it up into a few parts. Let me just double check. I want to make sure we don't have any others. Yep, just the one. So we heard again from our boy, Dane Under.
Nice.
What's up, Trick or Treat Radio? Hope you're having a good show.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm going to try and keep it quick and concise because I have a bit to say. Thanks to Michael Ravenshadow for the recommendation for Preacher. I'm looking out for that as it is. Jesse, thanks for the recommendation for Three Guys That Horror.
Nice.
Listen to that, pretty cool.
Nice.
Aries, you're talking about fuck the Australians, mate.
Yeah.
If you want to fuck Australians, don't make me a promise that you're not going to follow through on big fella. Because let me tell you something. I'll come over there and put you in the camel clutch and break your back, fuck your ass. Just kidding.
That's the best sample of the night.
You fucking scary looking motherfucker. Right. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about something. Since we've got, thank God, Mindhunter is coming up again, MZ. Thinking about serial killers, and you know, I want to ask you guys: do you ever worry about watching horror movies or documentaries about serial killers? That am I a dark person? Why am I fucking watching this fucking horrifying shit? You know, it's something it gets me down sometimes, and then I think about it a lot. You know, I'm trying to write a horror anthology of sort of long, short stories at the moment, and it's taken me a long time. But anyway, there's one of them's a serial killer story, and you know, it's like getting me down trying to think about how they tick, sort of thing. And I thought, you don't have to understand how the monster thinks. You know, they study their behavior, but we as normal people, we don't have to get into their mind. And you know, I worry about why do I find shows like that, like Mindhunter, or why did I watch the Ted Bundy tapes? But if you think about it, it's got all the classic elements of a story. You got the police are the good guys. You got the bad guy. There's ups and downs as they're trying to hunt him down. They're finding clues. You know, they're trying to get him. There's a breakthrough in the case. They might just miss him. He might escape. This sort of thing. It's sort of ups and downs like a story. And so I think, and it's looking in the truly dark side of human nature. So it's understandable that we are fascinated by them somewhat. It's sort of like that thing about looking at a car crash as well, you know. Anyway, the other thing is...
Well, let's stop it there. I want to get your opinion, MZ, because I know you are a huge fan of serial killer stories, documentaries. So what is the infatuation, and are you fucked up for being interested?
No, absolutely not.
Well, you are, but
are you interested? Dane's fine.
Yeah, Dane's fine. You have nothing to worry about, Dane. MZ, oh boy.
I just find their methods to be interesting.
Amateurs.
He compares his own.
Yeah.
No. Listen, I just think that to be in the mind of a serial killer is it's a disturbing place, but it's also got to be pretty fascinating. You know, it's got to be very interesting to roam around inside the mind of somebody who can't stop themselves from killing. You know. And their methods.
Well, for someone who can't stop himself from masturbating, you should know what it's like.
You know, and to fill that need to kill somebody, it's just something that's I can't explain it really. It's very primal.
So it's just that you just want to know kind of like what the infatuation.
Yeah,
like
I don't see it as a blueprint for me wanting to go out and do the same thing. No,
oh God, I hope not.
I'm doing my own thing.
Well, not yet. No.
This is evidence.
No. But I just find it all completely You know, the Ted Bundy tapes which they played, you know, which was on Netflix, was I couldn't stop watching that. I binged that. You know, it's how, you know, the road that they get to that point where they feel compelled to kill, and the methods that they go through to try to conceal it, and it's just all really, really interesting. You know, I can't understand, I can't explain why it's interesting. You know, I don't, you know, and a lot of people can't. It's just something that's really fascinating. I got books on the subject at home. I got some of those old Time Life books at home.
So if you can't, obviously there is just a fascination there. You're not sure exactly why, but do you think Dane sort of like posited that, you know, is he a bad person for being curious about it? Like,
no. Think about it. If you were working for, say, the FBI or some sort of psychological, if you were a doctor of psychology or something like that, and you had an interest in that, would that make it any different? No.
Well, I think it boils down to how he's watching it, like what he's taking away. Like, if you're looking at it going, "Oh, that's a good idea," then you have a mental issue.
Yeah, there's a problem.
Yeah, but if you're looking at it going, "Oh, sick motherfucker, how can you do that?" Like, there's always that morbid curiosity with everyone, and different people have a different extent. Some people enjoy watching these for that morbid curiosity, and I watch them and I think about if I was put in a situation where I was approached by a serial killer, how could I get myself out of it? Hearing about how someone was abducted, I would try to do this, I would try to do that. That's my takeaway from a lot of these.
Is there a possibility that all of us at some point or another, at one point, might have crossed paths with a serial killer?
I would guarantee it with the number of serial killers in the world. And it wouldn't
surprise me.
And you know what? To some extent, we all have those sick, twisted thoughts that, push someone off the subway, platform.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's thought about it, but has, a small percentage has actually done it. We've all done it. We've all
we've all thought about it. We haven't.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I mean, we've all thought it.
We're trying to keep you out of the court system.
But
we all thought about
a very small percentage has actually gone through with it. I mean, there's a small percentage of it going through it right now. I mean, right this very second.
What are you thinking about doing to me?
Thinking about throwing you down the stairs.
Wow. You better hope he dies, because otherwise you are.
You better do that shit right, because you get one shot and that's it.
Now with Mindhunters, which I've been waiting 2 years for. I love this show. They're gonna probe this. They're gonna probe this season with, as far as I know, Charles Manson and the BTK killer, which is bind, torture, kill.
You know that all too well.
Yes, I do. And last season they had this guy, Cameron Britton. I've mentioned it before. Cameron Britton, who did an amazing portrayal of Edmund Kemper. And
I remember you mentioning. Yeah.
Did you ever watch it?
Yeah. I thought first season was really good.
And what'd you think of Cameron Britton's?
I thought he was good. I thought all the portrayals were really good.
The acting was sensational throughout. I mean, everyone was great, but Britton was just ridiculous because Edmund.
I'm really curious where it's going to go for future seasons though, because they set up BTK in the first season.
At the end of the first season.
Well, throughout they showed him six times, but the crazy thing is that no, they never figured out who he was for 20 years after that time period.
Right.
So what huge leaps are they going to be taking in this show?
Yeah.
Because clearly they set up a character in the late 60s who wasn't caught until the 90s.
He might be the running throughout the entire run of the show, which means there's got to be a season 3 coming up. They got to be working on that. But it was Britton's portrayal of Edmund Kemper, and Edmund Kemper, you got to realize this guy was a serial killer, and also understand the guy was 6'9". Okay, now serial killers are scary enough, no matter the height. But when you got a serial killer
physically imposing,
who's 6'9", I mean, your brother is 6'8".
Yep.
And he's taller than him.
Yeah.
And
by an inch.
Yeah.
He's taller.
Hey, he's still taller.
He's even bigger.
Put
him in heels.
To me, that counts.
Although with dreadlocks, he was I think 6'10".
Yeah.
But
they went down, not up.
Yeah.
Well, he had the Busta Rhymes thing.
Oh yeah.
But the thing with Kemper is that he's highly
Imagine
intelligent.
him in a top hat.
He was highly intelligent, incredibly soft-spoken, just the way Cameron, the way Britton portrayed him. And it was unbelievably chilling. One of the scariest things I've ever seen, where he's being interrogated by the detectives. One of the most riveting. I mean, I was sweating in my seat watching this. This guy was scary. But overall, I mean, as far as serial killers go and cult leaders go, like Manson, I just find it very fascinating on how their mind works. It's just been an incredible interest of mine. Now I don't know what Dane is going through here, but I don't think he's I don't think there's anything for him to worry about.
Yeah, no, there's just like look at shows like Serial and what's the
Dexter?
other one? No. Well, I'm talking about podcasts.
Oh.
But like Serial, and there's some others like that just really just swept through, and people loved them and just got so interested in the subject that it's just a strange fascination because a lot of us just can't go there, and it's hard to even imagine how people can. So it's just trying to get in the head and figure out why the fuck people are like that. So I think that's pretty much it. So I wouldn't worry, Dane.
I think also by the simple fact that you're concerned just shows that you're level-headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, where MZE is not concerned. By the way,
I haven't got a worry in the world.
Real quick, MZ, are you looking forward to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
You better believe it.
Just because it's QT or because Charles Manson's in it? Well,
can I say both?
Yeah.
All right, then both.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Look, any movies that involve Charles Manson, I'm gonna have a huge interest in.
Yeah.
You know, from Helter Skelter to Charlie's Family, to the Manson family, rather, not Charlie's family, to the Manson family. And all in between.
Charlie's Angels.
You know, Thou Shalt Not Kill Except, which isn't really Charles Manson, but it's a riff on it.
Yeah. Well, I want to get back to Dane's voicemail because we got some more left. So it's in 3 parts, he said. So let's continue on.
I want to ask is, if you would feel like sharing it because it's some fucked up shit, do you have any sort of loosely related connection to any real serial killers? Because I have 2 actually.
Wow.
And I might tell you about it. There's a guy called Ivan Milat, and it was known as the Backpacker Murders or the Belanglo State Forest Murders, where they found some bodies, some hikers did, and then they found more and more, and it ended up being 9 bodies in this one area of forest. This guy was one of the people that Mick Taylor from Wolf Creek was based on.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
and,
that makes sense.
He grew up in South Granville, and as a kid, I lived in Granville, in Clyde Street. And my friend across the road, his grandmother was friends with Milat's mother, and I've met her once or twice. She's a real hard bitch, and my mate's auntie told me one time that he used to stalk her, and
Jesus,
he was known for stalking women throughout Granville, and as a weirdo. And he told her one day at a party that actually I'm not going to say it, but he whispered in her ears, "I could do this to you, do that to you, and no one would ever find you." And you know, it's just weird. Like the other, Paul Hogan was from Granville as well. These connections you get in Australia, Australia's only really small population, really, but still it's 20 million. The other one is this guy is a fucked up serial killer, was known as the Granny Killer.
Granny Killer.
And you know, it's what it sounds like. He used to follow grandmas down little lanes, and he'd hit him on the head with a hammer. Sorry to tell you. Or he'd make his way into their house, and there'd be one. The first one was like a horrific murder, but then he'd leave. A lot of the time, he left them out in the open, in a little laneway. So it was on the paper the next day that two grandmas found. I was a kid at the time, and then it was 3. And anyway, I think he killed about 6 or 7 older women, and they found out who he was. He was an older gentleman. He'd just sort of lost the plot a bit, and that was sort of the way he sort of gained these ladies' trust. And he worked for a company, a meat pie company we have in Australia called 4 and 20 Pies. My granddad actually was a meat inspector. He'd go around to the factories, make sure they were handling the meat safely, that sort of thing.
MZ does that.
And he'd go there and he'd see this guy sometimes, and he tells a story that he was there talking to him one time because there was another group, it was like 5 grandmas found dead now, like on the front page of the newspaper. It was really scary, crazy time, and so he said to this guy, Jesus Christ, this guy must be a mad bastard. And he said, oh yeah. The guy said to him, yeah, I don't know what's going on with him, or something like I can't believe it. And then later on found out that was the guy. And weirdly enough, he had one of those names with 3 names in it, which there's an idea that a lot of serial killers have these, pardon me, 3 names. And it's a crazy serial killer name. It's John Wayne Glover.
Yeah.
And that just freaks me out. It's so close to John Wayne Gacy.
Oh, right.
Crazy, yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to ask if you had any real life serial killer stuff that you want to talk about. Sorry if I'm being too dark. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Okay, have a good show, and I've got to turn this bloody phone on to press stop.
Well, I got to admit, it was pretty interesting. Yeah. I'm not familiar with either. Obviously, they're from Australia, so they probably wouldn't have got much traction over here. But
I think I've heard of the backpack murder.
I have heard of the backpacker murder.
Well, we certainly have seen the influence in Wolf Creek.
Oh, sure.
That Eddie mentioned. John Jarrett had sort of looked at that as sort of like it was sort of a jumping off point for.
But that term though, I feel I've heard.
Oh yeah. Probably it does sound vaguely familiar. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a movie called something like that, The Backpack Murders or something like that.
Maybe just as simple as that, yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if there is, but yeah, it is interesting, and it's crazy that that he sort of in a roundabout way knew someone that like met the killer, like that's pretty crazy. I don't have any that I can think of. Can any of you guys think of any connections, even like fucking like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon to a serial killer? No. Well, it's probably good.
I think I got 2.
Oh shit! Okay.
So, early 2000s. I don't think I ever met this person, but about 2 blocks away from the house where my parents live, and where I lived from like the mid 90s up until about 10 years ago. There was a guy who was apparently picking up prostitutes and killing them, dumping them in various dumpsters, or burying them in his basement where they found 2 or 3 bodies. And that was like 2 blocks from my parents' house.
Oh, wow.
Now, the other one is a bit more tenuous. and just that it was happening in my general area. But in the early 80s, and this is kind of less of a serial killer because I don't know how many people, if any, were actually killed.
Yep.
But there was a guy who was driving around in the northern Rhode Island, southern Mass area, and finding houses that had a big picture window in a secluded area nearby where he could wait.
I remember this, yep.
Yeah, and so he would camp out in the secluded area and wait until nighttime so he could see in, and he would shoot the people in the house.
Yep. That fucking scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Because that was all over the news.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how old I was. Do you remember what year it was, roughly?
This had to have been early 80s.
Early 80s, yeah. So I was probably 5, 6, 7, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
And for like at least a couple nights, when I went by our big picture window, I fucking got down on the ground and I like crawled under it because of that. It was, and it was pretty fucking scary because that was all over the news.
Yeah, and I think he did it to like 4 or 5 houses.
Yeah.
So, that one is much more tenuous because it was just that it was the general area we were in.
Yep.
But yeah, the other one is there's a good chance I probably, met the person in passing or just walked by them at some point because it was literally like 2 blocks away.
Oh, it's fucked up. First time Mike says, I had a class with the brother of the last victim of Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, wow.
So that is definitely a connection there.
Yeah.
That's interesting because obviously we know First Time Mike is in Wisconsin. So
yeah.
The home, as MZ knows.
So MZ, nothing? You got no connections here?
Well, he can't out himself yet.
All right, all right. You can't be like, oh, well, this organization I'm a part of.
No, there's nothing that I'm aware of.
But that's interesting. I mean, it's one of those things I've never thought of, like having a connection to any sort of serial killer or victim of. So that's an interesting one though, Josh. So
yeah,
or
and
2.
For all we know, we all have more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe no. One thing I thought was interesting. I do want to wrap this up because it's getting late. But I'm sure you guys saw, and MZ, it made me think of you. Like, they found this. It was in California last year, I believe. They found a serial killer from like the 70s, 80s.
Oh yeah,
90s because of those fucking DNA tests.
Yep. Yeah. It turns out that he was the sheriff of police.
Yep.
Of a police town there. Yeah.
And I can't remember the name that they gave him.
That was the damn it, San Francisco.
Yeah, he had a few different
Strangler
names.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Bay City
Bay Area, the Bay Area Strangler.
Something like
That's
that.
what
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. So it's just kind of interesting how that all came about. So yeah, pretty crazy stuff. So that's an interesting topic though, Dane. I appreciate you bringing it up. I wish we had more time to talk about it, but
anything from Raven Shadow?
Oh, that's why he left the room.
Were you leaving the room so you didn't have to tell us how many serial killers you know?
Or how many people you've killed?
Yeah.
No comment. No, I don't know. I don't know any connections to serial killers, but different. Maybe Riders of the Outlaw Trail, so to speak, but nothing.
Riders of the Outlaw Trail.
Yeah. Nothing I can speak to right now.
Golden State Killer. That's
Golden
who it
State
was.
Killer. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a few different names too.
Yep.
So
it was the Golden State Killer. That's what it was.
So yeah, pretty interesting stuff, Dan. I appreciate the voicemail.
Yeah.
It just brought about a different conversation we've never really had. So
Dane's fucking awesome.
He
and,
is.
2 for 2.
Yeah, he is. And Evil Corny said Dingo Dane 2 weeks in a row.
Really?
Oh yeah, I forgot we called him Dingo Dane originally. I think I like Dane Under.
Dane Under's
Dane Under.
Yeah, Dane.
So we appreciate the voicemail, Dane. Make it 3 for 3. We'll get Australia representing the show on the 7th year anniversary.
Golden State Killer is a serial killer, rapist, and burglar who committed at least 13 murders and more than 50 rapes and over 100 burglaries in California from 1974 to 1986.
Yeah, he would just break into people's houses and rape them.
Yeah, and he was a cop too.
Yeah.
Which
let me call the cops. Hey, we're already here.
Yeah.
It's fucking scary shit. So, all right, we're gonna end on that down note. So, big thanks to Josh for coming in. It was awesome having you in one last time.
Thank you.
In in Castle Wolfenstein.
Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, and obviously, it's a little bit of a further ride for you, I believe. But if you want to, if you ever. You can go. I'm inviting you to Raven Chateau or whatever it's going to be called.
Or go down to Maryland.
Yeah.
Or if you're ever down to Maryland, yeah.
Might be closer if you drive to Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh, stop it.
I got a nice air mattress coming, so.
I have 5 couches, dude.
Any of them have a pull-out couch?
Well, yeah, the fifth one is a movie bench / futon. Oh, yeah.
The fifth futon? Is that going to be your fucking
futon.
movie?
They got pull-off cushions. You pile all the cushions up and you got a bed.
Rubber sheets. And I got a bassinet that opens up to
A bassinet.
A bassinet that opens up to be a bed.
He was the drummer of David Lee Roth's band, Greg Bassinet.
Yes, he was good. That's what he does.
For an Italian, you love French words.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Booze, boosh.
Booze, boosh, denouement, menage a trois. I like all those things. I like they got some good words over there.
All right. So, Josh, is there anything you want to promote? I know you do a lot of writing. You're still doing some writing. Can people seek you out?
Yeah, if people want to seek me out, I'd love to do some writing. You can find me. I'm on Facebook. I'm pretty easy to find.
Yeah, Josh has done a lot of stuff. He's written for a lot of publications. He's a great film reviews. He brings the real estate up on this place.
So, and but
let me see that book. Let me show that book. Can people buy this on Amazon or online?
I'm pretty sure Mike White has those available pretty regularly through like Amazon and stuff.
And what is it? Cashiers du Cinémart.
Yes. I haven't been doing anything screening-wise lately, but I have been toying with the idea of, even though I cannot reasonably afford to do 35mm screenings, I'm going to try by the end of the year to get back into doing some small events, maybe some 16mm.
Yeah. I always dug the ones you did, the black box.
Yeah.
When you, I especially loved the. I didn't make it out to nearly as many as I wanted, but not the Halloween, the Christmas one you did with all the Christmas specials.
Yeah, VHS for Christmas.
Yeah, that was fun. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to start doing more stuff like that again.
Well, whenever you do, obviously, let us know.
Yeah, you'll come up from Baltimore, I know.
For every single one of them. I'll probably make it to more of them than I did before. I was actually talking about that. When you're when you're close enough to something and you don't go, it's like, I'll go the next time. I'll go the next time.
Yeah, it's not special then.
Yeah, but like when there's something cool happening, like I figure like I can make a plan around it and then go. So I'm not saying I can make it to all your screenings, but
I understand.
But I think that it's interesting that I think we sometimes take for granted we're so close to things,
right?
That I'll just go the next time. I'll go the next time. So,
yes.
Yep. So everyone, check out if you guys are not friends with Josh, seek him out on social media. He is a great writer and has got some great thoughts on film. So, and look out for his potential screenings down the road if you're in the New England area. So big thanks to Josh. Big ups yourself.
Thank you.
All right, let's go around the room and say our goodbye. Zemzi.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Rave Shadow. Stop reading the book. You reading the dude's review?
Not as far as you know. Yes.
Okay.
All right. Live fast, love hard, die with your mask on.
Aries.
Goodbye.
He did the Rave Shadow low voice. Goodbye. All right, well, this is the Ultimate episode. You said pent up. Pent Ultimate.
Yeah. That's why I wasn't coming out right.
Yeah, exactly. You're too pent up. So this next week, as I said, is a big episode for us. So if you guys are able to make it live, it would mean a lot to us. Or if you can't, send us a voicemail or an email and let us know your thoughts, favorite moments at Castle Wolfenstein here in the studio. Or if you have a suggestion for the new studio at Raven Shadow's house, please submit them via voicemail or email, podcast@TrickOrTreatRadio. We'd love to hear from you guys. And, well, that's it. So come join us next week, next Wednesday. We don't have a specific format in mind, but we're going to have some guests. We may review some movies. We'll talk about it on social media if you guys want to find out what's going on ahead of time. But we'd love to hear from people all over, whether you're a new listener, you've been around for a while, or you never. I would love to hear from some people who've been listening for a while who've never called in. That would be fucking awesome. Or some people who haven't called in a while. We've got people all over. So we hope to hear from you guys. We're looking forward to the party next week. Come join us. And that will do it for episode 364 of Trick or Treat Radio. We appreciate everyone who hung out on the live feed. We appreciate you guys. Dane for the awesome voicemail. And everyone's going to listen to the podcast. From everyone here at Castle Wolfenstein, we'll see you next week.